The most effective way to get revenge on a man is to take his woman. In my past life, Gao Yi, my father's best friend, not only stole my entire inheritance, but also conspired with the school beauty to throw me in prison. Now that I've been reborn, I'll start with his woman and his daughters, so that he too can taste the bitterness of despair. At this moment, a young woman with a smoking hot body was sitting on the edge of the bed, gently blowing on a spoonful of hot herbal medicine. Xiao Feng, it's time for your medicine. Looking at everything before my eyes, my heart suddenly tightened. Tears began to fall uncontrollably. It's so good to see Auntie Bai Ji again. Seeing my expression, Bai Ji's eyes turned red instantly. She looked at me with a face full of worry. Xiao Feng, what's wrong? Are you feeling unwell somewhere? Don't scare Auntie Bai Ji, eh? Come on, let's go to the hospital for a checkup right now. Only when Bai Ji grabbed my hand. Did I snap out of my thoughts? No. Okay. I was just spacing out for a bit. Bai Ji breathed a sigh of relief in her emotional state. She pressed my head against her full chest and gently stroked my head. It's good that you're okay. You suddenly fainted this afternoon, scaring Auntie Bai Ji to death. A faint fragrance surrounded my nose, making me feel like I couldn't breathe. I muttered, I'm fine. I just can't breathe. As soon as I said that, Bai Ji realized her actions were a bit inappropriate. Her face immediately flushed red. She gave a small cough, then let go of me, pretending nothing happened. Then she reached out to gently touch my forehead. The fever seems to be gone. Be good. Finish this last bowl of medicine. I nodded, took the bowl and drained it in one gulp. Bai Ji smiled radiantly. Looking incredibly charming, she gently stroked my hair. Xiao Feng is such a good boy. Then she smoothed out the wrinkles on her skirt behind her, stood up and said, then Auntie Bai Ji will go cook dinner. Rest for a bit longer. I'll call you when it's ready. I stared at Bai Ji's graceful figure as she left. With every step she took, that slender waist swayed provocatively, and her round hips shook slightly with her gait. Auntie Bai Ji, let me take care of you in this life. As for your cruel husband, Gao Yi, I'll make his life a living hell, and he won't find peace even in death. Ting. System binding successful. Issuing beginner mission. The member of the opposite sex with favorability above 60. Complete a full cycle physical intimacy. Reward. Genetic evolution serum. Time limit 3 days. To prevent the host from being manipulated, the favorability system is one of the core functions. Before I could study the system further, Bai Ji's gentle voice rang out. Xiao Feng, come wash your hands and eat dinner. My heart fluttered slightly. I suppressed my curiosity and replied quickly, I'm coming right now. Entering the dining room, Bai Ji was already waiting at the table. She was wearing a small panda apron. Her hair was elegantly pinned up, with a few loose strands falling over her forehead. That smoking hot, seductive body was like a ripe, succulent honey peach, making it impossible to resist taking a bite. Sexy, virtuous, cute, and gentle. All these qualities existed in harmony within her, creating a captivating contrast of attraction. There were only the two of us at home today. I couldn't help but whisper to myself, check Bai Ji's info. The next second, a virtual screen appeared before me. Light blue and full of sci-fi vibes. Huh. Only 16 times, and the number of refusals is 0. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry, thinking mockingly to myself, Gao Yi, you useless piece of trash, you're really pathetic. It's my responsibility to give Auntie Bai Ji a better life in your place. Plus, her favorability toward me is a whopping 90. Hey. Looking at Bai Ji's sexy, smooth body in front of me, I felt an unusual surge of excitement inside. Women Bai Ji's age usually have very strong needs. Gao Yi is over 50 this year. It seems his spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. A handsome, healthy young man like me needs to step in and help. Xiao Feng, why aren't you eating? Bai Ji glanced up at me and found me staring fixedly at her chest. Bai Ji's face immediately flushed red from embarrassment. Xiao Feng has really grown up. Has already a grown man. For some reason, I feel like Xiao Feng is a bit different. He seems much more handsome. Bai Ji's heart was thumping wildly. She felt a bit conflicted. As an adult, should I guide Xiao Feng in those matters? I snapped out of it, enjoying the delicious food while constantly praising Bai Ji's cooking skills. I was just spaced out earlier. I'm eating now. Auntie Bai Ji, your cooking is truly amazing. Even better than the chefs. In those 5-star hotels out there, Bai Ji couldn't stop smiling. It's not that good. You're just being a flatterer. Ting. High EQ choice support function activated. After the host makes the right choice, the target's favorability may increase, and you will receive affection points and be used to buy items in the system store. Wrong choice. Favorability may decrease. No other penalty. The host can also choose not to select and improvise on your own, said with a snort. Bullshit, of course, it's fake. You actually believed a bit of flattery. Living all these years for nothing. Smiled wickedly, hugged Bai Ji and said, hee hee, I have a silver tongue. Let's see who's tastier, you or this braised pork, said gently. Really, Auntie Bai Ji, if I could be with you every day, hesitates and eat your cooking, I would surely be the happiest person in the world. I wish I could eat your food every day. I was speechless. Obviously, I had to choose the third one. I definitely choose option 3. I looked at Bai Ji gently and firmly. Really, Auntie Bai Ji, if I could enjoy you, I mean, you're cooking every day, i.e. be the happiest person on earth. I hope I can eat your food every day in the future. Ting. Affection points 100, currently 100 points. Bai Ji's favorability toward you 1, currently 91 points. Keep up the good work. Bai Ji was a bit bashful. She gave me a seductive side glance. You're just talking nonsense. Such a sweet talker. I'm serious. I smiled back, Auntie Bai Ji. I would never lie to you. This moment, the atmosphere suddenly turned a bit strange. Neither of us said anything more, just quietly eating. After the meal, Bai Ji stretched. Revealing her enchanting body curves, she gently massaged her stiff neck. Her delicate face showed a hint of fatigue. Seeing this, my heart skipped a beat. Just as I was about to speak, the system started working again. Ting. High EQ choice function activated. Rubbing hands together and smiling lecherously. Lee down. Let me help you relax properly. Hey. Rushing over to slap her and saying domineeringly, a woman who doesn't know how to take care of herself. Are you trying to make me worry? Smiling gently saying, Auntie Bai Ji, you've worked so hard. Thank you for cooking such a delicious dinner. Let me give you a massage to help you relax. I took a deep breath, then approached Bai Ji, saying gently, Auntie Bai Ji, you've worked hard. Thank you for this wonderful dinner. Let me help you relax a bit. That wouldn't be very appropriate. Affection points 100. Currently 200 points. Bai Ji's favorability 1. Currently 92 points. Keep it up. Hey. Women really do say one thing and mean another. Her mouth says no, but her favorability is secretly rising. Small tip. You can use 100 affection points to exchange in the system store for Master Massage Technique. Help you conquer targets more easily. Do you want to exchange? There is such a good deal. I quickly whispered. Exchange now. Affection points 100. 100 points remaining. Skill received. Master Massage Technique. The next second, a massive amount of massage knowledge flooded my brain. Persuasively said, it's okay. It's just a massage. Auntie Bai Ji, you've sacrificed so much for this family. You should also pay attention to your own health. It pains me to see you so tired. All right then. Thank you, Xiaofeng. Bai Ji agreed as if possessed. She felt a sudden surge of emotion, having silently sacrificed for this family for so many years. Forget Gao Yi, who was rarely home all year round. Even his 3 daughters rarely showed her such sincere care and understanding. Then Bai Ji stood up and swayed her round hips gracefully toward the sofa. Bai Ji was a bit shy, and after taking a deep breath, she lay face down on the sofa. As she lay down, her breasts bounced like jelly. My eyelids twitched, and I swallowed hard, trying to suppress the wicked fire inside as I approached her. Auntie Bai Ji. I'm starting now. Bai Ji buried her flushed face in the sofa cushion and softly replied, go ahead. The next second, Bai Ji felt a surge of masculine hormones wash over her. Her mind went blank. In an instant, a numbing sensation spread through her body. Bai Ji couldn't help but groan softly, her cheeks flushing like a ripe honey peach. I stopped my hands, asking gently, Auntie Bai Ji, what's wrong? Are you uncomfortable? Feeling the hot warmth suddenly leave, Bai Ji felt a slight sense of loss. She quickly explained, It's nothing. I was just a bit surprised. Please continue the massage. I applied the master massage technique, focusing on massaging Bai Ji. Bai Ji gradually immersed herself in my skillful hands. It had been a long time since she felt so at peace. Xiaofeng, where did you learn to massage? It's truly wonderful. I'm glad you like it, Auntie Bai Ji. I just learned it online, mainly to help you relax whenever you're tired. Bai Ji was deeply moved. Xiaofeng is so filial, not like those 3 daughters of hers, who are always away and rarely come home.
Sigh.
Thank you, Xiaofeng.
I really like it, I said sincerely. I should be the one thanking you, Auntie Bai Ji. 6 years ago, when my parents died in that accident, you were always there taking care of me. I will never forget that kindness, even though I hate Gao Yi to the bone. I always have respect and love for Bai Ji. Throughout my high school years, Bai Ji always cared for me and worried about every little thing, often taking me out here and there. It's fair to say that without her help, I wouldn't have overcome the darkness after my parents' death. In this life, I will never let the tragedy repeat. Definitely make Gao Yi wish he were dead. But I won't destroy my own future either. I finally got reborn. I need to enjoy a passionate life with Auntie Bai Ji. Bai Ji felt full of compassion. She and my mother were close friends for years. Her friend's sudden departure left her deeply pained. The past is in the past, dear. Your upcoming college life will be wonderful. With Xiaofeng being so handsome, I'm sure lots of girls will be chasing you. Don't forget Auntie Bai Ji when that happens. As soon as she finished, I immediately shook my head. No, Jiangcheng University is very close to home. After my sophomore year starts, I'll live at home, so I can be with Auntie Bai Ji every day. Bai Ji's face turned beet red, but she was overjoyed inside. She gently scolded him.
You silly boy, what nonsense are you saying now?
You're grown up. You should learn to be independent. Auntie Bai Ji, I'm serious. Bai Ji's heart throbbed. She said with some fluster,
You'll have a girlfriend later.
Living with Auntie Bai Ji would be very inconvenient. Besides, Auntie Bai Ji is old now. My looks have faded. You'll surely find this old woman troublesome later on.
Ting.
High EQ choice function activated. Naughty hands started moving around, then smiling lecherously and saying, Since you know it's inconvenient.
Why haven't you gotten lost from this villa yet?
But if you want to join in, I wouldn't mind at all.
Hey.
Said with an indifferent attitude, Awesome. So you realized you're almost 40. Truly old and withered. If I were your age, I'd just drop dead. Only you could last this long.
What a shameless old woman,
said sincerely Auntie by J. You're still very young and beautiful. If we walk down the street together, people would definitely think we're siblings. Besides, it's all your fault. You've raised my standards for a lover too high. How can I ever find someone as beautiful and virtuous as you to be my girlfriend? Even if I'm lucky enough to meet someone like you. If she doesn't respect you, I definitely won't let it slide. I didn't hesitate to choose the third answer. IG laughed heartily, her whole body shaking, her round hips swaying with her laughter. She couldn't help but scold him. What nonsense. Affection points 100, currently 200 points. By G's favorability 1, currently 93 points. Keep trying. My hand secretly moved a bit lower. Starting to massage along the sides of Bai Ji's body, I casually continued. I'm not joking. My greatest wish is to find a lover. Exactly like you, Auntie Bai Ji. Unfortunately, that's harder than reaching the heavens. Truly a case of being born at the wrong time. Sigh. If I could have a wife like you, I'd be willing to lose 20 years of my life. Don't talk such nonsense. Bai Ji's face was flushed, and she couldn't stop sighing to herself. If only I had met a husband like Xiao Feng. So handsome, with a perfect body, understanding and sensitive, and with such a kind nature. The truly ideal man. Not like that bastard Gao Yi who's always out having affairs. I must have been blind to marry him back then.
Why did I choose to go with him?
I said, pretending to be serious. Auntie Bai Ji, let me massage your back. Maybe because of overworking, your lower back area is all stiff. Bai Ji, in a daze, replied softly. All right, it's hard work for you, Xiao Feng. An hour later, Bai Ji felt her whole body go soft like noodles. She quickly begged for mercy. All right, dear, I can't take it anymore. Xiao Feng, you're tired. Let's end today's massage here. I rubbed my tired fingers. It really was a bit exhausting. So I nodded and replied, yes, let's stop for today. Well, continue another day. Bai Ji stood up to go to the bathroom to clean up, but as soon as she stood, her legs suddenly buckled. Her whole body fell uncontrollably forward. Standing nearby, I was pulled down to the floor by her, unintentionally becoming her human cushion.
One lying beneath.
The other pressed on top. This position was as suggestive as it could possibly be. Bai Ji's face suddenly turned bright red like a ripe fruit. She hurriedly tried to stand up, but her numb legs left her with absolutely no strength. A second later, she fell back onto me again. I was also flustered, not knowing what to do. The entire room suddenly fell into a strange silence, seeing Bai Ji's blush spread down to her neck. I had to speak to break the silence. Auntie Bai Ji, let me carry you up. Having said that, without waiting for her reaction, I slid one arm around her neck, the other under her knees, and lifted her up gently, smelling the distinct masculine scent on me. Bai Ji felt like she might faint from the intoxication. Silently feeling the firmness of my arms, her heart pounded as if it wanted to leap from her chest. Quickly, I brought her into the bedroom and laid her down on the large, soft bed. Auntie Bai Ji, how are you feeling? I am fine. It's okay now, dear. Then I'll head back to my room. Okay then. Seeing that I had left, Bai Ji buried her face deep in the pillow, rolling back and forth on the big bed. She wailed silently in her heart. I'm going to die. This is so embarrassing. I've totally lost face. How will I face Xiao Feng from now on? It's okay. It's okay. A clear conscience fears no knock. I'm innocent. After returning to my room, I immediately went to the bathroom for a cold shower to extinguish the raging fire in my heart. Having finished showering, I lay on the bed and began to reflect on life. Painful memories from my past life flooded back into my mind. Gao Yi was my father's childhood friend. The two of them co-founded the largest MCN company in Hangzhou. After my parents died, he used sweet words to cheat me out of all my shares. Luckily, there's still time to save everything. In this life, I'll take back many times what I lost. I'll snatch away the career he was so proud of and trample his manly pride. The husband's debt, the wife pays. The father's debt, the daughter repays. Isn't that only natural? I'm just helping Gao Yi's wife and his 3 daughters escape from the darkness. But should I start with Auntie Bai Ji or with his 3 daughters first? This is truly a matter worth considering. Gao Yi can be set aside to be tortured slowly, while the other targets of revenge will be the appetizers. Quickly, time passed until 2 a.m. I woke up and intended to go to the kitchen for some water. As I passed by Auntie Bai Ji's bedroom, I discovered her door wasn't fully closed, with a dim light still flickering inside and emitting very strange sounds. The sound of a phone vibrating intensely. Who would call this late? And there's even the sound of flowing water. Could Auntie Bai Ji be taking a shower now? Driven by curiosity, I crept closer, peering through the crack in the door. Dim yellow light in the room flickered, accompanied by soft melodies playing. My heart pounded wildly. I have to control myself. I took a deep breath. Just as I was about to turn and leave, I accidentally brushed against the door. Creak. The sound of the hinge turning rang out, piercingly loud in the dead of night. The next second, my eyes met Auntie Bai Ji's. Ting. High EQ choice function activated, laughing uncontrollably.
Hey!
Auntie Bai Ji, I'm coming in now.
saying flippantly, "This is peak. The door isn't even closed. Did you do it on purpose? Or was it an accident? Or was it an accidental purpose, huh?" Thumping my chest to look righteous. Saying seriously, "Auntie Bai Ji, this isn't right of you. Let me give you a hand." "No need to thank me. I'm just a kind young man who likes to help others." Seeing the options provided by the system, I was completely speechless. Bai Ji was lying on the bed. The sudden creak of the door made her heart jump out of her chest. Her small face turned deathly pale. She saw the figure looming at the door. Those eyes were definitely mine. It's all over now. In her panic, she quickly grabbed the blanket beside her, covering up her exquisite curves. At this moment, Bai Ji's mind was a tangled mess. All sorts of thoughts were swirling endlessly in her head. Her entire body seemed covered in a rosy flush. From her flat belly, all the way to her fair face. What should she do? This is so embarrassing. When did Xiao Feng get here? Did he see everything? Xiao Feng won't just barge in, will he? If he comes in here?
What should I do?
Should I refuse him? How can I face Xiao Feng after this? Meanwhile, in the bedroom, seeing that I had left Bai Jie, let out a long sigh of relief. I cursed inwardly. This stupid system.
What on earth was I supposed to choose?
Bai Ji's affection for the host has increased by 1. It is now 94 points. Host, please keep up the good work. The system notification sound rang out suddenly, making me jump. I quickly hurried away. Early the next morning, Bai Ji and I ate breakfast in silence with our heads down. Both of us had dark circles from exhaustion. Bai Ji was incredibly tense. Her breathing was a bit heavy. Blush slowly spread across her fair skin. Even her small ears were tinged with pink. She asked timidly, "Xiao Feng, did you see anything last night?" Just as I was about to speak, the system chime rang out at the worst possible moment.
Ding.
High EQ choice function activated. Smile wickedly in reply. Of course I saw it. I even went back to my room to entertain myself. After all, the moon was so bright and clear last night. The moon was so big and white. I saw everything very clearly. Too bad I was so focused that I forgot to record it. How about Nuna does it one more time? 2. Speak nonchalantly. "Madam, I'm sure you don't want your secret to be known by anyone else, right?" 3. Act innocent. "What do you mean, Nuna?" "Last night, I fell fast asleep the moment I got back to my room. I immediately chose option 3. Love points 100. Totaling 300 points. Bai Ji looked relieved, as if a weight had been lifted. She didn't want to continue this awkward topic. Let it be like this, even if it's just self-deception. It's nothing. I'm getting ready to go to the market for groceries. Hurry and eat your breakfast. Your English tutor will be here soon to teach you." Because my English grades were so terrible, Bai Ji had specially invited a hot Western teacher to tutor me. In my past life, I was such a fool, having such a fiery Western girl like this. And yet, I didn't make a move at all. Thinking back, I just want to slap myself 10 times. It seems that if I want to complete the novice mission, I'll have to rely on this Western teacher.
Yes, Nuna.
With that, I started devouring my food. After eating, I took the initiative to wash the dishes, while Bai Ji went out to the market. Very soon after, the doorbell rang. I dried my hands and hurried to open the door. As soon as the door opened, a blonde girl with a perfect body and captivating blue eyes appeared before me. She wore a pair of intellectual gold-rimmed glasses, dressed in a simple white shirt, with a tight skirt below that showed off her curves, carrying a few books in her arms, and also holding a ruler. Her whole being exuded an aura that was both wild and academic. "Hello, I'm Linda." I couldn't help but call out in my mind. Check Linda's information. The next second, a light blue virtual screen with a sci-fi style appeared. Name Linda. Beauty, 92. Personality, wild. Open-minded.
Hobbies.
Money-loving. Enjoys getting rich. Affection, 55. Innate succubus body, 20. Body count, 24. Marital status, single. Relationship status, searching for a wealthy new boyfriend. Current mood, happy. Current wish, hopes to meet a new boyfriend who is both handsome and rich. I stepped forward and enthusiastically took the stack of books from her. "Hello, Im Ye Feng?"
M's.
"Linda. Please, just call me Xiao Feng. Please come in and make yourself at home." Linda replied softly. "All right. Do I need to change into slippers?" I poured a warm cup of coffee and handed it to her. Linda looked around, immediately overwhelmed by the luxurious interior of the house. She rejoiced inwardly. I didn't expect my tutoring student this time to be both handsome and rich. Has my luck finally arrived? I finally have a chance to hook a wealthy young master. Thinking this, she secretly undid one more button on her shirt, then flashed what she thought was her most seductive smile and walked into the living room. She looked like a veteran hunter who had just spotted her prey. Linda smoothed her tight skirt, sat down and crossed her long legs. A glimpse of what was under her skirt peeked through. Linda had studied abroad in China for many years, so she spoke Chinese very fluently. "Xiao Feng. You can just call me Nuna Linda. I'm not much older than you anyway." I smiled brightly and asked, "Nuna Linda, why didn't you go back to the States and decided to stay in China to develop your career instead?" Linda's expression immediately changed. Looking deeply saddened, she choked out, "My mother died during childbirth when she had me, and my father was a gambler buried in debt. and an addict too. I don't want to go back to that city full of addicts and gun violence anymore. Chinese people are very warm and hospitable. Plus, it's safe here, and there's so much good food. So I decided to stay. High EQ choice function activated. Caress her small hand. While laughing lewdly, green tea bitch, stop acting. Can you stop talking nonsense? I have money, you have looks and a body. Let's just get what we both need. Speak jokingly. Nuna Linda, I'm sure you don't want to lose this job, right? With a look of concern, sorry for bringing up your painful past. If you encounter any trouble in Hangzhou, just come to me. I have some connections here. With a sincere look, I took Linda's fair hands and said softly, I'm sorry, Nuna. I've made you sad. If you have any difficulties here, just call me. I can help you with anything.
Ding.
Love points 100. It is now 400 points. Linda's affection for the host has increased by 5. It is now 60 points. Host, please keep up the good work.
Tisk, tisk.
I bet 4 out of those 5 points were thanks to that last sentence. Perfect. Exactly 60 affection points to complete the mission requirement. Now it's time for a full-scale offensive. Linda looked at my handsome face. Her delicate face blushed, and her heart began to beat wildly. It's okay. After a moment of silence, I reluctantly let go of her hands and said, Nuna Linda, shall we start the lesson now? All right, let's go. My room is over here. I led Linda to my private room. I haven't cleaned my room in a while, so it's a bit messy. Please don't mind it, Nuna Linda. Linda glanced around the room and saw that it was actually quite tidy. Not at all. You're being too modest. It's much cleaner than my place. The two of us walked over to the desk, officially beginning today's tutoring session. Sitting close together, a faint, gentle fragrance wafted past my nose. I could even feel the softness pressing against my arm. While lecturing, Linda kept sticking close to me, whether intentionally or not. Nuna Linda, what does the word abandon mean? Linda's big eyes darted around briefly. As if she had just thought of something interesting. She said coquettishly, I'm here. Let me teach you. With that, Linda pressed her body against mine, her red lips close to my ear. Almost her entire body was leaning on me. 2.5 hours later, the system chime sounded.
Ding.
Linda's affection for the host has increased by 15. It is now 75 points. Host, please keep up the good work. Congratulations to the host for completing the novice mission. Give the world a little more love. The reward has been delivered. Received 1 genetic evolution serum. Finally finished the mission. I glanced at Linda, who was lying on the bed gasping for air, and hurried into the bathroom. I took out the genetic evolution serum, and a light blue virtual screen appeared again.
Genetic evolution serum.
Standard version. A technological product from the Galactic Empire. Research to perfect human bodily defects. After injection, physical strength and reflexes will increase 5-fold. Lifespan increases by approximately 30%. Genetic defects are mostly corrected, and most diseases can be prevented. I rolled up my sleeve, and without hesitation, injected the dose. The serum slowly entered my body, and my body began to undergo incredible changes. A wave of heat spread through my limbs and bones, and at the same time, I began to sweat profusely. Black impurities were expelled through my pores. This process happened very quickly,
lasting for about 10 minutes.
My vision suddenly became incredibly sharp. I could even see individual specks of dust floating in the air. My muscles also showed off firm, defined lines. Although my frame didn't change too much,
Just by flexing.
my muscles became as hard as boulders. Moreover, the me in the mirror is now flawlessly handsome. I picked up the body wash bottle and gave it a light squeeze, and it immediately cracked open. Looking down at my golden hoop rod in the mirror, I nodded in satisfaction. No, I have to test the effects. I cast my gaze toward Linda, who was still exhausted. My lips curling into a wicked smile. I quickly took a hot shower, then walked over leisurely. 2.5 hours later, the system chime sounded again.
Ding.
Linda's affection has increased by 20. It is now 95 points. Host, please keep up the good work. Looking at Linda lying motionless on the bed, I couldn't help but sigh and shake my head. That's all for today's lesson. Nuna Linda, let me take you home. With that, I helped a jelly-legged Linda down to the parking garage. I randomly picked a Porsche 911, then carried her into the passenger seat and floored the gas. The car quickly sped out of the apartment complex. Nuna Linda, are you okay? Linda was in a state of cerebral hypoxia, lying flat on the seat. She wasn't even conscious anymore. I had no choice but to find any random 5-star hotel, rent a presidential suite, and take her there to rest, sitting on the edge of the bed in the lavish room. I scrolled through videos on my phone while waiting for Linda to wake up. It took quite a while for Linda to come to her senses. She said reproachfully,
You're way too good at this.
I thought I was the hunter, who knew an innocent-looking little lamb like you was actually a hungry wolf in sheep's clothing. But at the same time, she felt incredibly happy, handsome and rich, with top-tier stamina. This was her ideal partner. I put on an innocent face and said, "What are you saying, Nuna? I don't understand." Linda shot me a sideways glance, then threw herself back into my arms. 3 hours later, the system chime sounded.
Ding.
Linda's affection for the host has increased by 5. It is now 100 points. To ensure the purity of love and prevent any risk of being cheated on, the system has locked the affection points, which will never decrease. I hurriedly got dressed properly, getting ready to make a quick exit. Linda looked at me with resentful eyes. Are you just gonna leave like that?
You bad man.
Are you planning to hit it and quit it? I looked surprised. What else? Do you really want to continue? Linda panicked. No, no, no. No, I mean, what is our relationship now? Linda looked at me expectantly. I answered without hesitation. We're boyfriend and girlfriend, obviously.
Really?
Baby, you're the best. Linda sat up excitedly, hugging me and kissing me repeatedly. Of course, I'm an upright man. I definitely won't do things like dining and dashing. The law only forbids having multiple wives. But as I recall, there's no limit on how many girlfriends one can have. Linda clung to my arm coquettishly, and I felt my arm sinking into a mass of soft cotton. Then swear it, that you'll only love me. My heart stirred slightly. I, surnamed Ye, swear to only love Linda. Otherwise, my instant noodles will never have seasoning packets again. Linda looked at me reproachfully. What kind of weird oath is that? Then posted on social media to make it public. And you're not allowed to block anyone. Are you kidding me? Oaths are fine. But going public is never happening. I refused decisively. I can't do that, honey. Please, I'm begging you. Linda squeezed my arm tightly against her hot body, her body writhing slightly. Her voice so sweet it would soften any heart. I just want your friends to know that we're dating. I leisurely took out my phone, expertly navigating to the money transfer interface. Be good, honey. I just sent you 5,000 yuan. Go shopping and treat yourself to something nice. I have some things to take care of first. Linda saw the notification for 5,200 yuan. Feeling overjoyed inside, she shouted, "Baby, when is our next lesson?" Later, wait for my call. With that, without waiting for her reaction, I immediately dashed off. No joke, now that I've been reborn, I have to live life to the fullest, and no one is going to tie me down. Linda sat on the bed, gritting her teeth as she watched me leave. She vowed to herself, I will definitely chain this man down. Next time, maybe I should prepare some special outfits. Linda seemed to be getting addicted to this feeling. Downstairs, I immediately made a phone call, not wanting to make Bai Ji worry. Hello? Nuna Bai Ji, what's up? I'm on my way home. Bai Ji's gentle voice came through the receiver. It's nothing. I just wanted to ask Xiao Feng if you're coming home for dinner tonight. Yes, I'll be back soon. Please save some dinner for me, Nuna. Okay, hurry home. Everyone is waiting for you. After hanging up, I silently summoned the system. The novice mission is complete. Are there any new missions? System, main quest announced. Help the weak. Praise, truth, goodness, and beauty. Mission content. Return to Vowu Media. Establish a KOL training department and recruit a pitiful girl with a beauty score of 95 or higher. Reward Tsundere Translator 1 million real engagement card. Cash reward 50 million yuan. Mission deadline. Within 1 month from announcement, the Tsundere Translator will automatically translate women's lies into subtitles of their true thoughts. Before I could even process it, system notifications rang out one after another.
Ding.
Side quest announced. Beginning of revenge. Mission content. Use your preferred method to take revenge on the one who bullied you for 3 years in high school. Mission reward. Soul-snatching pocket watch. Mission deadline. Within 1 month from announcement, if that soul-snatching watch has the power I imagine, then everything will be much easier. A brilliant plan to take revenge on Gao Yi began to take shape in my mind. Near noon the next day, I was fast asleep when my phone woke me up. The moment I picked up, I heard a barrage of questions. Yi Feng. Why aren't you here yet? You're the only one missing. Class reunion is about to start. During the summer break after freshman year, class monitor, Hua Ka, organized a class reunion. He thought that since everyone hadn't seen each other for a year, we should gather to rekindle our friendship and just have a good chat. I had completely forgotten about this reunion. I was originally thinking of ways to punish that bastard school bully and that vile school beauty. But this is perfect. They're delivering themselves right to me. I snapped wide awake. After waking up, I hurriedly cleaned myself up, getting ready to head out without even having breakfast. Seeing me in such a rush, Bai Jie asked in surprise, Xiao Feng.
What's going on?
Why are you rushing out without breakfast?
I'm not eating, I have a class reunion. That won't do. Skipping breakfast is bad for your stomach. Saying that, Bai Ji picked up a sandwich from the table. Be a good boy. Listen to Nuna. Against Bai Ji's gentleness, I had absolutely no resistance and could only obediently open my mouth, eating piece by piece from Bai Ji's hand as she fed me. I talked between mouthfuls of food. Bai Ji flashed a meaningful, radiant smile. She gently wiped breadcrumbs from the corner of my mouth. Eat slowly, take a sip of water. Don't let yourself choke.
Yes,
Thanks for feeding me, Nuna Bai Ji. After drinking water, my heart felt incredibly warm. I put on my shoes, getting ready to head out. Bai Ji called me back. Wait a second. She reached out to smooth my messy hair. You can't go with messy hair like this. You're an adult now, so you should pay a bit of attention to your image. Otherwise, the girls won't like you. Looking at Bai Ji's kind face, my heart felt like it was melting. I said solemnly, I don't need anyone else to like me. It's enough if you like me, Nuna Bai Ji. It would be wonderful if I could stay by your side forever. Bai Ji's exquisite face suddenly turned beet red. Her heart screamed incessantly. This boy is really too bold. What are those words supposed to mean? How can he say such embarrassing things? But why does my heart feel so sweet? Am I going crazy? Bai Ji lowered her head, not daring to look at me. She hurriedly pushed me out. Go. Hurry up and go. On the way, I specifically stopped to buy a high-quality pinhole camera. I already thought of a way to get back at that school bully. From what I know, he comes from a single-parent home, and his mother is a very famous award-winning actress. I've seen some of her work. She is beautiful and carries a cold, arrogant aura. I flashed a sinister smile, looking no different from a vile pervert. The son's debt paid by the mother, it's only natural, right? Inside the private room of the restaurant, I smiled sheepishly and said, "Traffic was bad, so I'm a bit late. Sorry, everyone." With that, I took any available seat and sat down. My gaze inadvertently brushed past the couple sitting across from me. The woman showed clear disdain, while the man had a face full of mockery. Anger immediately flared up within me. The man with the burly build and the fierce face was Luo Yifan. He was the nightmare of my 3 years in high school. And the woman beside him was Liu Ruyan, the very school beauty who took Gao Yi's money to set me up for blackmail and send me to prison. I still remember it clearly during the following winter break. Liu Ruyan came to find me. She pretended to be heartbroken, saying she just went through a breakup. And back then, I was secretly rejoiced, thinking that my chance had finally arrived. Who would have thought that after a night of passion in a hotel, the police would burst through the door? He actually had the audacity to turn the tables on me, claiming that I was the one who took advantage of the situation. After that, I was wrongfully imprisoned for 8 long, agonizing years. I suppressed the burning rage within my heart, silently calculating my plan for vengeance. Viewing Liu Ruyan's info. Name, Liu Ruyan. Personality.
Worships, violence, materialistic.
Hobbies.
Clubbing.
Favorability. 7. Heavenly succubus physique, 20 experience X. Total times, 398. Married 5 times. Status, single. Current, worrying about how to seduce the student council president. A rich second-generation heir. Current mood, normal. Current wish, hoping for a massive windfall to fall from the sky. I find it absolutely pathetic. Thinking back to my past life when I slept with this bitch, there were clearly bloodstains on the bed. It seems she had undergone high-tech restoration surgery. So, you like selling your body for money, huh? There is a perfect place for someone like you. I truly can't wait to ship her off to that hellhole. Suddenly, a mocking voice rings out. Oh, isn't this the top student, Ye Feng? Quite the entrance you're making all these people wait just for you. I look up. It's Houzi, Luo Yifan's lackey. Houzi glances at Luo Yifan. Seeing Luo Yifan nod, Houzi continues to speak without any restraint. I heard your college entrance exams didn't go well. What a shame. Your grades are usually so good, yet you dropped the ball when it mattered most. I stare at him coldly, as if I were looking at a corpse. Houzi shudders under my gaze, involuntarily trembling. The reason my exams went poorly,
The biggest culprits are the group of lowlifes.
led by Luo Yifan. 2 days before the college entrance exams, the school used as a testing site was cordoned off. The school let students go home to study on their own. After class, Luo Yifan and a gang of guys blocked my way. After a brutal beating, they forcibly dragged me to the swimming pool and threw me in. These demons in human skin forced me to soak in the freezing water for a whole hour. I once cried out and asked them,
Why are you doing this to me?
clearly never did anything to offend you. But the only response was, because it's fun. During that time, I tried to escape many times, but 2 fists were no match for 4 hands. After being beaten to a pulp, I was thrown back into the pool. That very night, I developed a fever that raged on for 5 straight days. My fever only broke yesterday. I had to take the entrance exams with a burning fever. It would be a miracle if I hadn't failed. In my past life, not wanting to worry Aunt Bai Ji, I lied and said I had accidentally slipped and fallen into the pool. At this moment, I can no longer seem to suppress my rage, coldly replying, "What's it to you? Even if I only took the science exams, my score would still be higher than your total. And don't even get me started on your boss, Luo Yifan." As soon as the words left my mouth, the entire room fell into a deathly silence. No one expected that the weakling, who had been bullied for 3 years, would dare to issue such a challenge. Houzi was stunned by my counterattack. He thinks to himself, "This brat just got into college and already dares to be so arrogant. Seems the last lesson was still too light. How's family background is just average." He was hoping to continue collecting protection money from me in college to fund his lifestyle. Thinking about this, he jumps up and points directly at my face, shouting, "Ye Feng, you!
Watch your mouth.
Who the hell do you think you are to dare insult Brother Fan? I think you're tired of living." Before he can finish, Luo Yifan's pack of lapdogs also jump up, shouting and jeering. They look ready to charge in for a fight. "Ye Feng, did you go crazy because you failed your exams? Do you have a death wish? Was the cold water that day not enough for you? Itching for a beating since it's been a few days, huh? Since you're asking for it, don't blame us when we take you to the bathroom for a more intimate chat later." The greedy homeroom teacher continues to drink nonchalantly, acting as if he sees nothing of what's happening right before him. Luo Yifan slams his hand onto the table, soup splashing everywhere. He stands up with a dark expression, glaring at me with pure ferocity.
Ye Feng, you.
Luo Yifan has lived a life of luxury since childhood. Never has anyone dared to defy him like this. Being spoiled by his movie queen mother has shaped his wretched personality. He bullies his peers not for money, but only to seek an unprecedented thrill. Before he can finish his sentence, I cut him off directly.
You piece of trash.
Slap. Slamming tables and chairs makes you think you're so tough. Luo Yifan freezes on the spot. In all his life, no one has ever dared to insult him like that. Luo Yifan explodes with rage. He flips the table. You're dead. Thanks to the genetic enhancement serum, my reflexes are incredibly sharp, dodging the impact just in time. But the others aren't so lucky, becoming completely covered in food and soup. Though everyone is furious, they only dare to be angry in silence. After all, his notorious reputation is well known. I give a nonchalant smile, then leisurely walk toward the door. If you've got guts, follow me to the alley downstairs. All my classmates gasp in utter shock. Since when did Yi Feng become so tough? Is he possessed? Surely he didn't call some thugs, planning to ambush Luo Yifan during the party. If so, Ye Feng is way too naive. Luo Yifan could disperse them with just a flick of cash. Luo Yifan laughs in sheer rage. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill that wish for you. He kicks aside a friend blocking his way, then followed by his 3 lackeys. They all storm downstairs. Watching this, Lu Ruyan stands there frozen in disbelief. She never imagined that her simp Ye Feng, who followed her every day, would suddenly become so strong and decisive. This couldn't be a suicide mission, could it? If he had shown this dominance earlier, she might have actually given him a chance. Filled with excitement, she follows to watch the show. The alley behind the restaurant is usually deserted, but now a rowdy crowd has gathered. Yi Feng, do you think that? Because we've graduated, I can't touch you anymore. Don't forget, our colleges aren't that far apart. Luo Yifan's university is indeed not far from mine. His face is so dark it looks like a storm cloud. He lets out a sinister smile. With just some spare change, I could hire 7 or 8 thugs to wait for you at the school gate every single day. Do you believe me? I shrugged nonchalantly. Really? I don't believe it. In theory, a rich second-gen heir like you has everything. So why do you insist on bullying commoners like me? The pinhole camera on my chest is silently recording everything. Our luxury cars, yachts, and beautiful women. Still not enough to satisfy you. Luo Yifan acts as if Hez just heard a dull joke. He licks his lips.
Luxury cars, beautiful women.
In my eyes, those things are just the lowest forms of entertainment, the things you paupers dream of having. I've grown tired of them long ago, compared to those cheap ways to spend money. Murder, kidnapping, and torture are where the real thrills are. A dirt poor wretch like you will never understand. Just how exhilarating it feels to beat or even kill someone in real life, I ask abruptly. So, have you ever killed anyone? Of course. Luo Yifan admits it without any concealment. His vicious face even shows a hint of pride as soon as he says it. The air around us seems to freeze. His 3 lackeys exchange looks, their eyes filled with sheer terror. They followed Luo Yifan to bully people every day. But murder is something far more terrifying. In this moment, a terrifying thought crosses their minds. Will we be killed to keep us quiet? Lu Ruyan is so terrified her face is deathly pale, her legs giving way as she sinks to the ground. Luo Yifan gets more excited as he speaks, his mouth twisting into a sick grin. I don't mind telling you. Remember that guy in the tattered clothes who was always cowering in the corner? I suddenly remember. His name was Meng Xinghan. I knit my brows tightly, a cold light flashing in my eyes. Meng Xinghan was my only friend in high school. He vanished on his way to work during the 2nd semester of freshman year. By the time his body was found, he had been dead for a long time. The killer was a drifter who surrendered a few days after the event. Luo Yifan looked savage. That poor loser was serving at a bar. I just took his crappy watch to look at. Yet he kept whining in my ear incessantly. I clenched my teeth. That was the birthday gift I gave to Meng Xinghan. Back when school started, his mother carried a basket of farm eggs, giving them to us with her rough, cracked hands, begging us to look after her son. Luo Yifan's expression becomes even more twisted. Those rotten eggs are what you call motherly love. Ha ha ha. You know what? Even my dog wouldn't touch those filthy things. Tell me, didn't he deserve to die? People like that should just rot in their poor little holes. Don't come around and hurt my eyes. So I hung him up in a basement and whipped him with a spiked lash. Hearing his agonizing screams was absolutely euphoric. Luo Yifan gesticulates wildly with excitement, then mimics in a shrill voice. Please, sir, I can't die yet. My mother is still waiting for me to come home for dinner. That old bag actually dared to come to school looking for him. Wailing like a banshee, snot and tears everywhere. Luo Yifan's gaze suddenly turns venomous. So I paid some pocket change to hire a truck driver to crush her into a bloody puddle.
What do you think entertaining, isn't it?
I squeeze out each word through gritted teeth. Why? Luo Yifan tilts his head and laughs. Because it felt good, obviously. Oh, by the way, that guy who was tortured to death, it should have been you. Ye Feng. Luo Yifan seems to remember something suddenly. He laughs insidiously. It's just that on the day I went looking for you, I just happened to run into him at the bar. Talk about fate! Too bad he offered himself up first. Ha ha ha. Luo Yifan's 3 lackeys and Lu Ruyan all back away in terror. My face is as dark as cold night water. Aren't you afraid of going to prison, Luo Yifan? Looks like he just heard the funniest story in the world. He laughs uncontrollably. Is that all? Is it hard to spend a few $100,000 to buy a fall guy? Seriously, you paupers are something else. I take a deep breath, suppressing the surging murderous intent. One last question. Your mother is movie queen Luo Wanqing, right? Pride flashes in Luo Yifan's eyes. Jealous, Remember to pick a better place to be born in your next life. His arrogant laughter echoes through the narrow alley, sending chills down anyone's spine. Luo Yifan cracks his neck. I was going to let a toy like you off the hook. But since you delivered yourself, don't blame me for sending you off. He waves his hand. Haozi and the three lackeys sneer and surround me, unleashing a flurry of punches and kicks. Weren't you so tough? Aren't you so smart? Why don't you dare fight back now? You coward, itching for it, aren't you? I should have broken your arms long ago. So, you couldn't take any exams at all. Punches rain down on me like a storm. But to me, it only feels like being tickled. After all, this genetically enhanced body has long since surpassed human limits. I intentionally let out a few agonizing screams. Internally, am laughing coldly. It'll give you 3 minutes to hit me as much as you want. Then it'll be my turn to strike back. The pinhole camera has recorded the entire event. To be able to take on Luo Yifan's mother, I've already paid quite a price. Madam, you wouldn't want a video of your son bullying his classmates to be seen by anyone, would you? 3 minutes pass. Haozi's fists are bright red. He can't for the life of him understand why my body has suddenly become as hard as steel. If it weren't for Luo Yifan watching intently from the side, he would have definitely stopped by now. Enough.
Haven't you three eaten?
Get the hell out of my way! Luo Yifan impatiently kicks Haozi aside and swings a heavy punch into my stomach. Hiss. Hez stunned. A bone-shattering pain shoots through his hand, as if he had just punched a sheet of iron. I let out a casual hum, a mocking smirk playing on my lips. Luo Yifan furiously draws a butterfly knife and stabs directly at me. Only a crisp crack is heard. The knife snaps in two, but I'm completely unharmed. This horrific sight terrifies him so much he starts trembling all over. He screams, completely losing control. You? What kind of monster are you? The three lackeys and Liu Ruyan also back away in absolute horror. I stand up, leisurely dusting off the dirt from my clothes, stretching my limbs to loosen up. Done playing, I rub my wrists, and with an expressionless face, I grab Luo Yifan's arm. Snap it hard. The sound of the joint dislocating is ear-piercing in the narrow alley. Immediately after, I deliver a direct kick, slamming it into his gut. Boom. A loud thud. Luo Yifan's body is sent flying like a kite, with its string cut flying far off. He slams hard into the wall, in so much pain his dizzy. A pungent stench suddenly fills the air. Haozi watches this, paralyzed with shock, his head buzzing. Could it be that Yifeng has been playing the weakling all this time? I'll let you all taste the sensation of flying too. I give each of them a kick. The three lackeys are like bowling pins, piling up on top of Luo Yifan. This chain of continuous attacks has made Luo Yifan faint.
Yay.
Ye Feng. Lu Ruyan stands nearby, her face pale as a ghost. She tries to keep her composure. You. Don't you like me? It'll give you a chance to pursue me. These words immediately ignite a fire of rage within me. This worn-out shoe for the world to trample dares to disgust me. I slowly approach her and swing my hand, delivering 3 heavy slaps to her face. Lu Ruyan is slapped so hard she's spinning, her beautiful face swelling and turning red instantly. I brush the makeup powder off my hand, looking coldly at her tear-stained state. For money, you caused me to be wrongfully imprisoned for 8 years. If I don't give you the treatment you deserve today, it would be hard to appease the hatred in my heart. I deliver a kick, sending her flying out. If anyone thinks ill, just let these bastards go like this. They've severely underestimated me. This tiny bit of pain is nowhere near enough to quench my hatred. System. Exchange for bone-crushing hand. This is the secret technique I've carefully chosen from the system shop, specifically to give these people before me an unforgettable experience for the rest of their lives. Ding. Exchange successful. Affection points deducted 300. Current points 100. With a savage smile, I approach Luo Yifan, kicking off the lackeys piled on top of him. I grab his collar with my left hand and unleash a series of slaps. The moment he opens his eyes and sees me, the usually arrogant school boss instantly becomes as terrified as a husky cowering in a corner. He stammers, You?
You.
What do you want? You dare hit me.
Believe me, I'll call the police on you. My mother knows the chief of police. If you let me go now, I'll act as if nothing happened today. I remain silent, only smiling at him with hidden meaning. His attitude immediately softens significantly. Brother Yifeng, I was wrong. Just say how much money you want. I'll give it all. I keep the smile on my lips, as if I don't hear his begging. Luo Yifan completely breaks down. A warm stream of liquid flows from his crotch. Brother Feng, please be magnanimous. Treat me like a fart and let me go. I beg of you. Only now does he truly taste the fear of a bullying victim. I coldly utter a few words. Who said I wanted to kill you? Luo Yifan feels as if has been pardoned, hurriedly kowtowing repeatedly. Thank you, Brother Feng, for your mercy. I'll definitely turn over a new leaf from now on. He says that, but in his heart, Hez plotting his revenge against me, as long as he escapes from here with his family's connections. A poor nobody like me is someone he could crush like an ant, though he doesn't know why my body is as hard as steel. No matter how hard it is, can it be harder than a bullet? I, like a madman, let out a frantic laugh. I laugh so hard I can't even stand straight. Luo Yifan feels a cold chill down his spine. He wants to run, but Hez unable to move. My laughter abruptly stops. I pat him a few times. The bone-crushing hand starts to take effect. Excruciating pain surges through him like a tidal wave. Luo Yifan feels all his bones and muscles being shredded by thousands of steel needles. His brain feels like tens of thousands of ants are crawling on it. He writhes in agony, letting out heart-wrenching screams. I tear a piece of his shirt and stuff it tightly into his mouth. Then I mock, "Hey classmate, wake up. No sleeping allowed here." The pain hits in wave after wave. Luo Yifan feels like Hez about to go insane. His muscles and bones seem to be continuously torn and then reattached. His features are miserably distorted, cold sweat pouring down like rain. Looking at Luo Yifan rolling on the ground, I squat down, patting his shoulder like comforting an old friend. Then whispering, "Take deep breaths. Pain is completely normal. Now I have to go see the movie queen auntie to play some games." Luo Yifan can only let out meaningless whimpers. His body shakes like a leaf in the wind. The most effective way to get revenge on bullies is to target their mother. In my past life, the school bully led a gang of people to block my path after school. After a brutal beating, they forcibly took me to the swimming arena, forcing me to soak in freezing water for an entire day. That very night, I caught a fever that lasted for 5 consecutive days and nights. In my past life, not wanting Aunt Bai Jie to worry, I lied and said I had slipped and fallen into the pool. Now that I've been reborn, I will strike starting with the mother of that bully Luo Yifan, so she too can experience what despair truly feels like. Right now at the gate of the villa complex, I asked the guard to call Luo Wanqing. "Hello, ma'am. There's a young man named Ye Feng here, saying Hez here to pick up something Master Luo Yifan left behind. Master Yifan is busy and couldn't come, so he specifically asked this young man to collect it." On the other end of the line, Luo Wanqing directly asks the guard to lead me to the front door of her villa. When I arrive at the door, I ring the doorbell. A slender yet curvaceous figure with a cold beauty appears at the door. System, view Luo Wanqing's info. Name, Luo Wanqing. Personality, cold, detests men. Hobbies, acting, reading. Favorability, 30. Heavenly Succubus, 20. Experience X. Total times, 0. Marital status, single. Current acting career has hit a bottleneck. Looking to pivot her career. Current mood, melancholy. Current wish, hoping that rebellious son of hers, Luo Yifan, goes to a college far, far away. A rebellious son. Interesting. And her experience X index is only 0. It seems there's a secret here that hasn't been revealed. A guy like me loves secrets the most. I nonchalantly step into the house, gazing at the graceful silhouette of the beauty before me. I involuntarily lick my lips. Luo Wanqing coldly says, "Please, sit." Then she instructs the servant to bring out fresh fruit and delicate pastries, truly living up to her name as China's cold and famous movie queen. Her aura is elegant and noble, her features perfect and flawless, preventing anyone from daring to have even a single vulgar thought. She is wearing a simple long dress, the neckline slightly low, revealing an expansive skin as white and smooth as jade. Beneath, her long, slender, and straight legs peek through. Ifan's room is on the 2nd floor. You can go straight up if you want to get something. I peel a tangerine from the table, slowly putting a piece into my mouth. The thing is, I'm not actually here to pick anything up this time. I came here to find you. Luo Wanqing's voice was as cold as shards of ice. She retorted bluntly, "Looking for me? Do I even know you?" Fiddling with the tangerine in my hand, I spoke with a reckless air. "It doesn't matter if you don't know me. In the next few hours, make sure you remember me very clearly." Luo Wanqing's favorability toward the host decreased by 20. Currently 10 points. Host is requested to mind your words and actions. Luo Wanqing crossed her arms over her chest, her face full of weariness. She said coldly,
You disgusting, lowly man.
"You can get lost now." As expected, all men in this world are cut from the same cloth. How nauseating. I laughed and remained seated on the sofa, with no intention of moving. Luo Wanqing glared at me. Count to 3. If you don't leave, call security. 3, 2, 1. As soon as she finished, she grabbed her phone to call someone. Being this hasty isn't good. I opened a video and held it in front of Luo Wanqing. "Watch this first. It won't be too late to decide after seeing it." With a gloomy face, Luo Wanqing took the phone. It was a 3-minute video. Thumbnail showing Luo Yifan's ferocious face. Luo Wanqing's favorability toward the host decreased by 2, currently 8 points. Host is requested to mind your words and actions. Luo Wanqing's heart suddenly skipped a beat. An ominous premonition surged within her. Could that rebellious son have done something completely heartless again? Her fingers trembled slightly. She felt a hint of fear about opening this video. In fact, she knew that over the years, Luo Yifan had committed many cruel acts. Seeing those tragic victims, she even once had the urge to kill her own son, but she couldn't bring herself to do it. Not because Luo Yifan was her son, but because if these things were exposed, her career would vanish into thin air beyond redemption. She could only clean up his messes time and time again. Luo Wanqing took a deep breath. Finally, she mustered the courage to press play. The video began in a small alley filled with trash. Then Luo Yifan appeared in the frame. "Yi Feng, do you think that just because we've graduated, I can't do anything to you anymore? I just need to spend a bit of spare change to easily hire 7 or 8 thugs to watch you every day. Believe it, Luo Wanqing suddenly looked up. Her noble, cold face that rarely changed finally revealed an expression of extreme horror. She hurriedly paused the video. Then she dismissed the maid, Xiao Li, who was busy in the kitchen. You should go home first. Then she turned to me with a calm face. Suppressing her emotions, she asked, pretending to be composed, Tell me, how much money do you want? I gave a short sneer, leisurely peeling half a tangerine, a crazed smile curling the corner of my mouth.
You wealthy people are truly interesting.
I don't want money. Just keep watching. There is still a surprise waiting at the end.
Ding.
Luo Wanqing's favorability toward the host decreased by 5, currently 3 points. Host is requested to mind your words and actions. Luo Wanqing looked at the demonic smile before her and couldn't help but feel a chill in her heart. She suppressed the panic inside and continued looking at the phone. Logically speaking, a wealthy young master like you, why do you insist on bullying someone insignificant like me?
Luxury cars, beautiful women.
Ha ha ha. Those are just low-level amusements. The things you poor wretches dream of. I'm already bored of playing with them. In the frame, Luo Yifan showed clear arrogance, overflowing with contempt for ordinary people, compared to these cheap pastimes, killing, kidnapping, and torture. Where the true excitement lies. Luo Wanqing's brow furrowed tightly. The unease in her heart grew more intense.
So, have you ever killed anyone?
Of course. Luo Yifan licked his lips, his whole body trembling slightly with excitement. It doesn't hurt to tell you. Do you remember Meng Xinghan? That pathetic kid sitting in the corner? With those tattered clothes. I killed him. Luo Wanqing's breath suddenly hitched. She knew that poor child. That night, it was raining cats and dogs. When she saw the bloody corpse in the basement, she had vomited uncontrollably on the spot. But compared to the career she cherished so much, that bit of compassion had long been completely swallowed by the darkness of the rainy night. She had used money to find a scapegoat, covering up all these crimes under the rain, but she didn't expect retribution to come so soon. In the video, Luo Yifan was like a madman, gesticulating wildly in excitement. Outside the video, Luo Wanqing's knuckles turned white from gripping too hard. Her exquisite oval face was drained of all color. If her soul had been sucked out. I brought him to my basement and hung him up, using a spiked whip to lash him over and over. Hearing his heart-wrenching screams, do you have any idea how pleasurable that was? Luo Wanqing painfully covered her eyes. Tears were like a broken dam, streaming through her fingers. Her body shook like a leaf in the wind, her full chest heaving violently. I looked at her with a half smile, coldness and hatred flashing in my eyes.
Well,
Didn't you want to call for help?
Come on, continue your performance. Luo Wanqing turned her head, her elegant, cold face now drenched in tears, exuding an air of fragile brokenness. The rims of her eyes were red, her chest heaving, looking incredibly pitiful. Anyone seeing her wouldn't be able to help wanting to comfort her. Truly worthy of the Best Actress title, tisk tisk. This acting skill made me burst into laughter, laughing louder and louder. Luo Wanqing parted her rosy lips, staring blankly at the man in front of her, who was suddenly laughing like a maniac. I'm crying like this already. If you won't comfort me, at least don't laugh so loudly. She began to doubt her own acting skills. Could it be that this trick doesn't work on this man? The laughter stopped abruptly. My eyes turned bloodshot, like a beast ready to pounce at any moment. I suddenly pressed close to Luo Wanqing, gently stroking her soft hair, then leaned in close to her ear and whispered, I still prefer your previous arrogant, unyielding expression. Bring it back. Luo Wanqing's already stiff body shuddered violently. She had mentally prepared herself to be harassed. She didn't expect me to say something so bizarre. I laughed and stepped back. Keep watching. The best part is still to come.
Ding.
Luo Wanqing's favorability toward the host decreased by 20, currently 17 points. Host is requested to mind your words and actions.
Why? Because it feels good, of course.
Aren't you afraid of going to jail? Ha ha ha. In the video, Luo Yifan seemed to have heard an incredibly funny joke. He laughed so hard he couldn't stand up straight. Poor wretches are truly just poor wretches. Is it that hard to spend a few $100,000 to find a fall guy? Ha ha ha. I have one last question. Your mother is the famous Best Actress Luo Wanqing, right?
That's right. Ha ha ha.
What? Jealous?
Remember to reincarnate better in your next life. Luo Wanqing's body wouldn't stop shaking. She really didn't dare to watch any further, hurriedly pausing the video. She knew today's matter wouldn't end peacefully.
What do you actually want?
Just say it. How much money? Name your price. She gritted her teeth, forcing herself to calm down. A moment later, she returned to her usual cold, ethereal demeanor. In her view, no one is not greedy for money. It was simply a matter of the price. I raised an eyebrow, my face full of mockery. Tisk, tisk. Look at you. You're doing it again. I remember I already told you. I don't need money. Luo Wanqing directly offered 10 million yuan. I kept that playful expression, my eyes scanning her hot body. Without any restraint, Luo Wanqing took a deep breath, raising her voice. 30 million yuan. That's enough for you to live in luxury for a lifetime.
Don't push your luck.
To her, Luo Yifan wasn't worth a cent. What was valuable was the acting career she took pride in. Once these dirty things are exposed, her career would surely be ruined. The corner of my mouth curled into a mocking smile, unable to resist teasing her. 30 million? I'm still very young. How could 30 million be enough? It has to be 300 million yuan. 300 million is what you need to never worry for a lifetime.
Ding.
Luo Wonqing's favorability toward the host decreased by 20, currently 37 points. Host is requested to mind your words and actions. Don't go too far. Luo Wanqing sprang up like a coil. Her face was blazing with anger, her eyes staring fixedly at me. At most, just let that rebellious son go to jail. I don't care about him as much as you think. In her youth, she was forced by a big director into unspoken rules. Perhaps due to the influence of pregnancy hormones, she ultimately chose not to abort the child. But after giving birth, she regretted it. As a child, Luo Yifan was left to be raised by her birth mother, so she inherently didn't have much affection for him. I immediately saw through Luo Wanqing's thoughts. I naturally know you don't care about him. You only care about your own career. Luo Wanqing's beautiful eyes widened, a cold chill running down her spine. Her mind suddenly went blank. How does he know? Madam, let's try to imagine a little. I stepped forward and embraced Luo Wanqing, whispering close to her ear. If I post this video online, what do you think will happen? Luo Wanqing's face immediately turned as white as paper. If this video were to spread online with such a shocking scandal, it would likely top the search rankings in the blink of an eye. At that moment, the career she had always been proud of would crumble into pieces in just a few short days. Impossible. Luo Wanqing exclaimed. You underestimate the media and PR in the entertainment industry. I have 10,000 ways to take your video down. I gently stroked her back. As if soothing a child, try to guess how much money I have. Search for Wuyu Media. See who its largest shareholder is. Luo Wanqing suspiciously took out her phone to check. After searching, her expression became even more unsightly. This devil before her was actually the majority shareholder of Wuyu Media, possessing a fortune worth hundreds of millions. You're so professional. Could you tell me, would 100 million yuan be enough to make this video famous enough for the whole world to know you're a madman? Luo Wanqing felt her scalp go numb. She really couldn't dare to imagine someone willing to spend 100 million yuan just to ruin her. What on earth is he doing it for? Just to have her body. Though she was very confident in herself, she wasn't so arrogant to think this body was worth 100 million yuan. She had no cards left to turn the tables. After a fierce internal struggle, she had to compromise.
You win.
300 million yuan. Give me 1 month, even if I have to sell all my assets. It'll gather enough for you, madam. I remember saying this many times already. I don't need money. Luo Wanqing suddenly turned around. Looking at the man with the wicked smile beside her, she felt a chill through her whole body. 300 million? You don't even want 300 million. What does this maniac want? Fear consumed her mind, her voice trembling violently.
What on earth do you want? Revenge, of course.
To me, money isn't important, and Luo Wanqing isn't important. What's important is making Luo Yifan taste the pain. Most brutal in the world.
Ding.
High EQ choice function activated. Transform into a pervert. I've said so much already, yet I don't see any reaction from you. Let me see your sincerity. 2. Speak recklessly. 500 yuan a time. How many times for 300 million yuan? Calculate it yourself.
I'm too lazy to do the math.
3. Transform into a lovesick fool. Goddess, you're my goddess. I don't need anything. I just want to silently protect you. Smile curled the corner of my mouth. I've said so much already, yet I see no reaction. Let me see your sincerity.
Ding.
Love points increased by 100. Currently 200 points.
Ding.
Luo Wanqing's favorability toward the host decreased by 5, currently 42 points. Host is requested to mind your words and actions. Luo Wanqing was both ashamed and furious, but since things had come to this, she had no other choice. Half an hour later.
Ding.
Luo Wanqing's favorability toward the host increased by 2, currently 40 points. Host, please keep trying. Luo Wanqing's whole body felt exhausted. She bent over, clutching the trash can, her throat constantly retching. She kept dry heaving, looking incredibly disheveled and pathetic. As for me, I sprawled out on the sofa, a satisfied smile on my face. As if nothing had happened just now. Luo Wanqing barely managed to regain her strength. Her eyes were red as she screamed at me. Are you satisfied now? Delete that video for me. Let everything end here. I smirked,
leisurely replying.
Madam, you're far too naive. You didn't think it would just end like this, did you?
Ding.
Luo Wanqing's favorability toward the host decreased by 5, currently 45 points. Host is requested to mind your words and actions. Hearing this, Luo Wanqing's heart suddenly tightened. She realized things weren't as simple as they seemed. Her voice began to tremble. What do you mean? Put on an utterly obvious expression. That's 300 million yuan. Do you think you're worth that much? So what do you want? Luo Wanqing's eyes widened, her chest heaving violently. She was fuming with rage. The oral reward just now counts as 200 yuan for you. Now you still owe me 299,999,800 yuan more. I gave a wicked smile. 20 yuan. Luo Wanqing was both ashamed and angry, her face flushing deep red. Without a word, she lunged straight at me. She pressed down on me, scratching repeatedly, just like a raging tigress. Of course, I didn't bother humoring her. I locked her wrists together. With a little force, I pinned her down onto the tea table. Then, I playfully tilted her chin up, a mocking smile on my face. You dared to hit me just now.
Fining you another 200 yuan.
Well now, You owe me a full 300 million again. Luo Wangqing's eyes filled with tears. She was both furious and frantic. You don't go too far. Are you even a man?
Why are you bullying a weak woman like me?
Ding.
High EQ choice function activated. 1. Lick lips with a lewd smile. Madam, you surely don't want this video posted online, do you? 2. Speak with a reckless air.
Madam, do you think your mouth is plated with gold?
21 yuan is a very friendly price. Someone like you is worth 10 yuan at most. No more. 3. Transform into a lovesick fool. I went too far. How about this? You don't need to pay the 300 million. I'll even give you another 300 million. Looking at Luo Wangqing's ashamed and angry face, I couldn't help but feel extremely excited. So I teased her, madam. You probably don't want the video online, right? Love points increased by 100, currently 300 points. Luo Wangqing's favorability toward the host decreased by 1, currently 46 points. Host, please keep trying. Luo Wangqing was both ashamed and angry. She turned her face away, not daring to look into my eyes, her body twisting constantly, trying to escape the restraint. Unfortunately, my strength was too great. After a period of futile struggling, she finally accepted her fate. She closed her eyes tight, acting as if she'd let me do whatever I wanted. Madam, don't be like that. The more you struggle, the more excited I get. My voice grew low and husky, exuding a wicked charm. Luo Wangqing completely broke down. Her face flushed bright red with shame. She shouted curses.
You shameless bastard.
You absolute beast. What the hell do you want? Seeing her in this state, I didn't waste any more words. Luo Wangqing struggled weakly for a bit, finally giving up her resistance.
Ding.
Luo Wangqing's favorability toward the host decreased by 2, currently 48 points. Host is requested to mind your words and actions.
Ding.
Luo Wangqing's favorability toward the host increased by 20, currently 28 points. Host, please keep trying. Luo Wangqing lay listlessly to one side. Her gaze was vacant. If her soul had been lost. Her hair was disheveled across her cheeks, sweat matting the strands on her forehead. Looking at her, a wicked smile curled my lips. I took out my phone, opening Luo Yifan's chat. Location, Unit 7, Jinshu Villa District.
Huajing, Jiangcheng.
Very smooth. After sending the message, I immediately made a video call with the end of the bone dislocating technique. Luo Yifan regained consciousness. He yanked the rag out of his mouth, panting heavily. He couldn't believe how he had survived those last 6 hours. That pain was more terrifying than hellish torture. A phone rang at the most inopportune moment. He took out his phone to look. It was a video call from Yefeng. Luo Yifan's heart trembled slightly, suddenly remembering my last words before leaving. Instantly, an ominous premonition rose in his heart. Luo Yifan took a deep breath. Using a trembling finger, he pressed answer. As soon as it connected, what met his eyes was my loathsome face. Behind me was a luxurious wall. Luo Yifan's pupils suddenly contracted.
Wasn't this his own living room?
Had he been raided? In the frame, I said with a mocking smile. Guess where I am? Before Luo Yifan could get a good look, the call was cut off. Looking at the dark phone screen, Luo Yifan's face turned pale and ashen. His expression became pained and twisted. No. Impossible. How could mother ever agree to him? He frantically called Luo Wangqing's number. His mouth constantly muttered, impossible?
Wei.
The subscriber you're calling is currently unavailable. Please try again later. Clinging to a final shred of hope, Luo Yifan kept dialing. Finally, after a dozen rings, someone picked up the phone. Hello, mother. What are you doing? No, it's nothing. I'm busy. Busy with what? It's nothing. Luo Yifan felt Luo Wangqing's voice tremble slightly, her tone also extremely unusual. He realized something was wrong. Luo Yifan roared in anger.
What on earth are you doing?
What's that sound over there? Luo Wangqing's impatient voice came through. It's grown-up business, don't meddle. Why do you care about my business? I'm very busy. Luo Yifan's expression changed completely. He thought of the worst possibility. Fine then. I'm out of time. I'm hanging up.
Wait, mother, don't.
Don't. Just as Luo Yifan was about to tell her not to hang up, a heart-wrenching scream from Luo Wangqing echoed from the other end. After the phone was disconnected, Luo Yifan's expression became distorted and ferocious. His bloodshot eyes bulged to the limit. He kept muttering in a frenzy. All of you deserve to die. You two cheating scumbags. I will definitely kill you both. His entire face was glued to the phone screen.
As if he wanted to crawl right inside.
The phone rang once again. I placed a voice call. Luo Yifan's entire body was trembling. As if he had just seen something absolutely terrifying. He ground his teeth audibly. After a moment of hesitation, he finally pressed the answer button. Madam, it seems to me that you don't care much about your son, do you? Could it be that he isn't your own flesh and blood? Luo Yifan shuddered. Growing up, he had never felt a mother's love. He had even suspected once or twice whether he was a foundling.
What does that have to do with you?
Him.
You're quite tough, aren't you? A series of heart-wrenching sounds followed, making Luo Yifan's distorted face turn pale and then flush with rage. Speak properly. Aunt, tell me he actually is your biological son. Luo Yifan was overjoyed. He knew it. He did have a mother after all, but it seems like you don't give a damn about him. Is your career that much more important than him? Tell me, is there some hidden story here? You're a grown man. Why are you so gossipy? Another burst of rapid sounds came through. Luo Yifan looked up at the sky and screamed, "This is absolutely insulting. Go ahead and tell me." It happened over 10 years ago. I had just started my career back then. My agent took me to a banquet. The other party was some investor. I only had one sip of wine and immediately lost consciousness. I knew I had been violated, but for a country girl with no power or connections in this city,
What could I have possibly done?
it wasn't until a few months later, when I went to the hospital for a checkup, that I found out I was pregnant. Maybe it was my constitution, but my belly didn't show at all. I didn't even have major morning sickness. I wanted to get rid of it, but the doctor said it was already too late. Forcing a surgery could have been life-threatening. I didn't dare tell my parents, and I certainly didn't dare show my face in my hometown. Otherwise, those people would have surely branded me a loose woman. With no other choice, I had to give birth to him. This bastard ruined my entire life. Countless times I wanted to strangle him, but in the end, I couldn't bring myself to do it. So I dumped him with my mother to raise.
That's it. That's the whole story.
Luo Yifan stood there, dazed, his whole body turning cold. When he heard the word bastard, his heart went completely numb. A fierce flame of hatred ignited within him. Ha, 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 ha. His eyes were bloodshot. His expression twisted and savage. He ground his teeth and said, "That wretched pair. I'll definitely kill you both." He picked up the butterfly knife from the ground, staggering toward the exit of the alley. But the power of the bone-displacing hand was too great, so much so that his legs still had no sensation. He collapsed onto the ground with a thud, lacking the strength to stand back up. Sounds continued to emit from the phone. "I didn't expect you to have such a past. It's okay. I'll take good care of you from now on." No. Haunting sounds echoed in Luo Yifan's ears, reverberating through the deserted small alley. He picked up the phone, intending to smash it, but his arm hadn't fully recovered yet, so he could only hurl the phone away. Yet, those sounds still lingered. 3 hours later, beep. Luo Wanking's favorability toward the host increased by 40 points. It is now at 12 points. "Host, please keep up the good work." Luo Wanqing lay in my arms, breathing rapidly and heavily. After she regained her strength, she looked at me and spoke. "Are you satisfied now? Now give me that video."
Video? What video?
"I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Nuna." "What do you mean by that?" Luo Wanqing suddenly sat bolt upright.
Washing your hands of it after everything.
"Are you playing dumb now? Are you even a man?"
Ding.
High EQ selection function activated. Option 1. Lick your lips and give a lewd smile. "Madam Ill, hold on to this secret of yours for a lifetime." Option 2. Speak nonchalantly. 1,000 per session. These 2 times count as 2,000 yuan paid off. You still owe me. 299, 998,000 yuan more. Option 3. Become a total simp. I'll give it. I'll give it to you right now. I'll give you the video. I only beg you to let me be your little toy boy. The corner of my mouth curled into a smile. Under Luo Wanking's disbelieving gaze, I quickly planted a kiss on her ruby red lips.
Wah. Ding.
Luo Wanking's favorability toward the host increased by 3 points. It is now at 15 points. "Host, please keep up the good work." I gently caressed her smooth face. "Madam Ill, hold on to this secret of yours for a lifetime." Passion points increased by 100. Total points now at 400. Luo Wanking's favorability toward the host increased by 10 points. It is now at 25 points. "Host, please keep up the good work." Tisk, tisk. Women really do say one thing and mean another.
Ding.
Congratulations, host, for completing the beginner mission. The beginning of vengeance. Soul-snatching pocket watch reward received. The soul-snatching pocket watch is a mystical product from the Fairy Empire, capable of controlling ordinary people. Once an instruction is given, the controlled target will resolutely carry it out. Unless the host releases the control, the controlled state will not disappear. Hearing the cold mechanical voice in my head, I couldn't help but be overjoyed. Thought I had to actually kill Luo Yifan for this mission to end, but it turns out just humiliating him was enough to complete the mission. Regardless, I still need to send Luo Yifan off. I want to put an end to his life with my own hands. Looking at the ancient pocket watch in my hand, the corner of my mouth curled into a sinister smile. A brilliant idea appeared in my mind, which was to use the soul-snatching pocket watch to control a few random thugs, using their hands to eliminate Luo Yifan's crew, and testing the watch's effectiveness while I'm at it. Nighttime in some dark and gloomy alleyway. 3 large, burly thugs with fierce faces were surrounding a young girl. The girl had a small frame and was shivering uncontrollably with fear. Clear teardrops sparkled on her cheeks. She clutched her backpack tightly against her chest. The blonde leader barked, "Hey, brat, hand over the money if you know it's good for you. Don't make us get physical. I really don't have any money." The girl's voice trembled, choking up as if she was about to cry. Her small body tried its best to back away, her back pressing against the cold, damp wall. Her eyes filled with panic and pleading. "No money." The bald thug standing nearby gave a cold laugh. His massive hand, like a pair of pliers, grabbed the girl's collar and dragged her roughly toward him. "With a body this fine, sex, maybe you can come play with us for a bit instead. Don't do anything reckless." The girl screamed in terror, her legs kicking wildly in the air, trying to escape the bald man's grip. "Heh, You still dare to resist. The third thug also stepped forward, raising his fist, intending to strike the girl, while constantly hurling insults, choosing the hard way over the easy way. We're gonna have to teach you a lesson today. Help.
Someone help me.
The girl desperately closed her eyes as she screamed, "Hey!" A cold voice echoed throughout the alley. My targets were those three thugs. Since murder is illegal anyway, instead of wasting effort plotting, isn't it better to find these villains and have them tear each other apart?
Wouldn't that be more satisfying?
Let that girl go? If you've got the guts, come at me.
Ding.
Sun Zhaoen's favorability toward the host increased by 10 points. Total favorability now at 50 points. Keep up the good work. Scarface Man roared angrily. Where did this brat come from? How dare you ruin my good time? The bald man licked his lips, his beady, lustful eyes scanning me from head to toe. Big brother, this guy looks pretty fair and smooth. Why don't you leave him to me? You know, big brother, this is exactly my type. The blonde man nodded casually. Do as you wish. Hearing that, the bald man let go of the girl, gave a lewd laugh, and rushed straight toward me. Kid, I advise you not to resist in vain, unless you want to get your head bashed in. Just surrender quietly, and serve me well later. He swung his fists around, looking quite powerful on the surface. But in reality, there was no technique, just an empty shell. A wave of disgust washed over me. My body nimbly dodged to the side, easily avoiding the bald man's attack. Immediately after, I delivered a spinning kick, landing it squarely on the back of his neck. The bald man's world went dark. He collapsed onto the ground with a loud thud, lying motionless for a long time. His head was ringing as the world spun around him. The Scarface Man froze for a moment, seemingly surprised that I was so skilled. He let out a roar. Swinging his fist to give me a beating, I remained calm, leaning away to dodge, smoothly grabbing his wrist, and twisting it backward with force. Only a loud snap was heard. Scarface Man shrieked in agony like a dying pig. His arm hung down limp and useless. Cold sweat breaking out all over his face. Beads of sweat the size of beans rolled down, his eyes now containing only pain and terror. The little girl, like a frightened rabbit, rushed to hide behind my back. Her large, round eyes blinked repeatedly, her gaze full of admiration and gratitude. She blushed shyly and said, "Thank you for saving me." I glanced at the girl, and my cold expression softened slightly. Hurry home. Don't walk alone through alleys like this ever again. Though the girl was still very afraid, she didn't want to just leave her savior behind. She asked hesitantly, "What about you?" I shook my head. "I'm fine. You go first." I didn't have time to play the hero here, nor the time to babysit this kid.
Ding.
Sun Zhaoen's favorability toward the host increased by 10 points. Total favorability now at 60 points. Keep up the good work. The girl nodded obediently, then turned and walked away quickly. Before she disappeared, she looked back once more, with a clear hint of lingering attachment in her eyes. After the girl left, the blonde leader tried to act tough and said, "Brother, there's no need to take things this far, is there? Who's your brother?" I blurred forward, appearing like a ghost right in front of the blonde man. A powerful punch landed squarely on his flabby gut, making his eyes look like they were about to pop out. Watching the three thugs rolling around, crying on the ground, I nodded in satisfaction. Then I pulled a pocket watch from my pocket and approached the three moaning thugs on the ground. I crouched down, swinging the watch in front of their eyes, while chanting a spell under my breath. Soon, the gaze of all three became lifeless and hollow, and even the pain in their bodies seemed to vanish. They slowly stood up, a sinister glint flashing in their eyes. I took out my phone, found a photo of Luo Yifan's group of 4, and showed it to them. Before coming here, I had already checked the alley behind the restaurant. Luo Yifan's group and Lu Ruyan were still there. The bone-displacing hands effect was surprisingly good. Even though the pain had subsided, it looked as if their life force had been drained, making it incredibly difficult even to stand. It would take hours before they could even think about leaving. Go to the alley behind Fudun Restaurant. Take out the 4 people in this photo for me. Don't touch the girl. When you're done, go turn yourselves in. I didn't kill Lu Ruyan because I have a better, much more satisfying plan in mind. Understood. All 3 replied in unison, sounding exactly like machines. I went to Fudun Restaurant, headed straight to a private room on the 2nd floor, and sat by the window. I ordered a few dishes and a bottle of wine, quietly waiting for the good show to begin. Below, Luo Yifan's group of 5 seemed to have recovered slightly. They were forcing themselves to move, supporting each other as they prepared to leave the alley. Lu Ruyan's lovely face was swollen, her carefully applied makeup smudged by sweat. She stammered, barely able to speak. That despicable Yifeng. I even gave him the chance to pursue me, and yet he dared to be so cruel. Just wait until tomorrow. He'll definitely teach that dog Yifeng a lesson. Don't you? Agree, big brother. Hosey looked at the dazed Luo Yifan. Luo Yifan walked on silently, not bothering to reply. Big brother, what's wrong? Do we need to go to the hospital? Before Hosey could finish his sentence, rapid footsteps echoed from the entrance of the alley. Luo Yifan's group all looked over together, only to see 3 murderous-looking thugs peering right at the entrance. One of them held a small knife in his hand, looking as if he had just encountered his father's murderer. They charged straight at them. Hosey backed away, trembling. "Who are you guys?" Luo Yifan finally snapped out of it. Trying to look calm, he shouted loudly, "What do you think you're doing?" The thugs charged in without a word.
Luo Yifan
Jumped in shock, retreating several steps in panic. His face turned pale with terror. his eyes overflowing with fear. The blonde thug rushed straight at Luo Yifan, clamping both hands around his neck. Tightening his grip more and more, Luo Yifan's eyes bulged, his face full of horror. His hands struggled to pry the thug's hands away, gasping for help. Help. Help me. His legs kicked wildly against the ground, trying to escape the hold. But having just barely recovered, he truly had no strength left. The scar-faced and bald thugs were brawling with Huza's group. In an instant, the alley echoed with the sound of heavy blows and incessant, agonizing screams. One lackey was punched squarely in the face, blood gushing from his nose. He cried out, "Ayog!" in pain, clutching his nose as he fell and rolled on the ground. Hosey intended to slip away quickly, but a thug kicked him hard in the rear, sending him face-planting, leaving him flattened and unable to rise for a long time. Lu Ruyan was so terrified her face was drained of all color. Her legs turned to jelly. She collapsed to the ground. A yellow liquid involuntarily soaked her skirt. Her hands flailed about, screaming in a fit of panic.
Don't kill me.
Right at that moment, God knows where he got the strength. But Luo Yifan managed to break free from the thug's grip. He happened to look up and saw me sitting on the second floor, right by the window, leisurely sipping my wine. In that instant, his eyes flared with ultimate rage. A mere insect he had been trampling upon just days ago. How could he have changed so drastically? Luo Yifan stumbled and fell back to the ground, begging frantically. "Big brothers, brave heroes, please spare my life. Whatever amount Yifeng paid you, I'll pay you 10 times more." Blonde thug didn't say a single word, only sneering coldly as he stepped closer, his gaze still like that of one looking at a mortal enemy. "Brothers, big brother. How about 1 million yuan? Just give me a way out. Please. 5 million yuan. 5 million, and you can do whatever you want with those other 4. I only beg you to show me some mercy. 5 million. I'll transfer it straight to your accounts today." Luo Yifan's face was smeared with blood, tears and snot flowing as he begged, looking indescribably pathetic. Hosey, standing nearby being pummeled, disregarded his injured body and lunged straight at Luo Yifan.
Luo Yifan.
"You selfish, backstabbing dog. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be in this mess. And yet you dare to abandon me. I'm going to kill you." Luo Yifan flew into a rage, delivering a kick that sent the lunging Hosey flying. Hosey was like a kite with a broken string, the back of his head slamming hard onto the cement, twitching just a few times before losing consciousness. "Your worthless life isn't worth a cent. Who do you think you are? To think you could stand on equal ground with me?" Luo Yifan didn't even have 2 seconds to gloat. As soon as he saw the blonde thug stepping toward him furiously, he immediately knelt and begged piteously. "Big brother, 10 million. 10 million yuan. This money will surely let you all live in luxury forever." But the blonde thug remained as cold as stone, his face still maintaining that same expression of deep hatred. Luo Yifan was in total despair, screaming until his voice was hoarse. "Ye Feng, you'll definitely die a horrible death.
Somebody help me.
One who is killing me is Ye Feng." He truly couldn't understand his tactic of using money, which was usually foolproof.
Why was it completely useless today?
These 3 thugs were like they were possessed, not bothering to utter a single word. Every blow they struck was aimed to kill. Looking at the chaotic scene below, the corner of my mouth turned up in a slight smile. I raised my wine glass and took a small sip, watching Luo Yifan, who was once so arrogant and overbearing, now struggling on the brink of life and death. The hatred in my heart was finally somewhat eased. Not long after that, sounds of brawling gradually died out.
Luo Yifan and his 3 lackeys
lay scattered across the ground, no longer moving at all. Lu Ruyan was slumped on the ground, her eyes lifeless and hollow, still immersed in extreme terror, her body shivering incessantly, her teeth still chattering loudly. Luo Yifan was now barely breathing, his eyes wide, staring at me standing on the second floor, his gaze filled with resentment and hatred. But in the end, there was nothing more he could do. After finishing their mission, the 3 thugs dusted themselves off and trudged toward the police station.
Ding.
Side quest triggered.
Quest name.
Who would joke with their own honor?
Quest content.
Use the method the host prefers. To take revenge on the campus belle who caused the host to spend 8 years in prison.
Quest reward.
Super Evil Dragon Card. Quest duration. Within 1 month of activation, Super Evil Dragon Card is a reward item. After use, the host can designate any female target with a favorability score over 20, transforming her consciousness into an immortal evil dragon. Duration is 24 hours. The host, acting as the hero, must go and subjugate the evil dragon. Every time a critical hit is dealt, a large amount of cash will be received, and favorability will also increase much more easily. Critical hits on females. Corner of my mouth turned up in a suggestive smile. Who should I use this card on? After paying the bill, I strolled out of the restaurant and walked right up to Lu Ruyan. Lu Ruyan, startled by the dark shadow that suddenly appeared, was scared out of her wits. In a state of extreme panic, she used both hands to scramble backward incessantly, screaming incoherently, "No, don't come any closer. Please.
Don't kill me."
While fiddling with the soul-snatching watch in my hand, I looked at her with a mocking gaze. "Great campus belle Lu. Could it be you've already forgotten? A stalker and simp like me who used to follow you every day." Hearing that familiar voice, Lu Ruyan's eyes gradually regained some clarity, as if catching a life-saving straw. She cried out in overwhelming joy, "Feng Feng." Immediately after, she put on a heart-wrenching, tearful display, looking so pitiable and wretched, except for the swollen red cheek that made her look absolutely ridiculous. Who could be so cruel? To dare bully the great Liu campus belle like this? Feng Feng, you're finally here. Save me. It'll do anything you want. Just as she finished speaking, Lu Ruyan lunged at me like a starving predator, trying to throw herself into my arms. Even though I've seen it all, witnessing this scene before my eyes, even my face turned pale with disgust. In the blink of an eye, I raised my leg and delivered a kick. Lu Ruyan let out a wretched scream. She was completely dazed. She had put on such a pitiable act. Yet, not only did I remain unmoved, I even added a painful kick to the mix. Under normal circumstances, her backups and simps would have rushed over to comfort her long ago.
Whatever. When you're down on your luck, you have to bow your head
And endure the humiliation. A terrifying realization dawned on Lu Ruyan that I was the one who hired those three thugs to kill Luo Yifan's group. The moment she thought of this, her entire body began to tremble. She really didn't want to die at all. Back at the university, there were so many new simps waiting for her to hook them. How could she possibly die here? But those three thugs only killed Luo Yifan's group of 4, while completely ignoring her presence. Doesn't that prove something? Yes, that's it. It must be. It's because I still have feelings for her. If I spared her, she was willing to give herself to me just this once.
Feng Feng.
Lu Ruyan stood up, aggravating her wounds, making her grimace and hiss in pain, but she still endured the agony. Staggering toward me, Feng. Feng. I know you're still angry, but the truth is, I've liked you since 10th grade. The reason I never said yes is because my family is very strict. I wasn't allowed to date in high school, and I couldn't do that before marriage. I rolled my eyes in contempt, looking at Lu Ruyan before me, speechless. She really has no sense of shame. How dare Liu Ruyan claim she's still a virgin? Feng Feng. It wasn't until today that I realized how much I love you. I'm willing to be your girlfriend, to be your wife. If you want it, I can give you my most precious possession right now. Lu Ruyan's eyes welled up with tears, looking like she was on the verge of sobbing. I was truly disgusted by her words. My stomach churned with nausea, and I couldn't stop myself from vomiting right onto Liu Ruyan. Lu Ruyan was completely stunned. Rage and hatred flared up wildly within her. In all her years, what man hadn't doted on her and cared for her, running errands and doing everything for her? When has she ever suffered such humiliation? Ill endure it. For the sake of her own life, Lu Ruyan suppressed her disgust and put on a look of concern once more. Feng, Feng, what's wrong? Let me rub your chest to help you breathe. Stop it. Don't come any closer. I raised my hand to block Liu Ruyan's dangerous advance. Stop talking nonsense. I have to go home for dinner. Let's just start already.
Right now?
Liu Ruyan's jaw dropped in shock. Going for something this intense, even though she's been a player for years. She had only done it outdoors a few times, let alone in a place as filthy and wretched as this, which was also a horrific murder scene. This isn't really right. Lu Ruyan took a deep breath, forcing a strained smile. How about we go to my place? No one is home.
What are you blathering about?
It's the same everywhere, isn't it? My face was full of impatience. I still have to go eat dinner with Auntie Bai. But it's all trash and sewage here, and there are even corpses.
What if someone is secretly watching us?
I'm begging you, let's go to my place. Lu Ruyan pleaded miserably. I glared at her fiercely, my patience completely exhausted. How about you just go and die instead? I don't have time to deal with you. Hearing this, Liu Ruyan immediately shook her head in terror. No. I'll do whatever you say. Lu Ruyan lowered her head, silently unbuttoning her shirt. My hand held the soul-snatching pocket watch. My brows furrowed tightly, looking at Liu Ruyan with an expression of pure disgust.
What on earth are you doing?
Does a worn-out bus like you actually think you can play the part of pure love? Lu Ruyan nervously fiddled with the hem of her shirt, putting on a shy, coquettish act. Of course, I want to give you the most precious thing in my life. Hey, gorgeous, do you really take me for a fool? I flew into a rage and swung my hand, delivering a loud slap. A worn-out bus like you
dares to talk about pure love.
Lu Ruyan tumbled to the ground, clutching her even more swollen cheek, asking back in disbelief. What do you mean by that? Can't you understand human speech? I'm calling you a worn-out public bus. I still didn't feel satisfied, so I swung my hand and slapped her again. Daunt, you know exactly what kind of person you are. Lu Ruyan's head was ringing, and she burst into loud, bitter sobs. Seeing that the noise was unbearable, I gave her another direct slap to the face. Lu Ruyan immediately fell silent, only daring to bow her head and sniffle softly. I pulled out the soul-snatching pocket watch, speaking with absolute revulsion. Lift your head and look at me. Hearing this, Liu Ruyan tremblingly raised her head, her heart filled with immense fear. I knelt down in front of her, flashing a wicked smile, while holding the ancient-looking pocket watch. Liu Ruyan stared blankly at the strange sight before her, her mind a mess of confusion.
What is this?
My eyes darted around. Perhaps letting her know the truth before taking control would make her terror that much sweeter. I licked my lips and spoke slowly. This is a magical toy I happened to find. Do you know what it does? No, I don't know. Lu Ruyan had an ominous premonition, and it was growing increasingly intense. Daunt? You find it strange? Those 3 thugs clearly had no grudge against Luo Yifan. So why did they come to kill them? And how is it that every single one of them treated money like trash? Aren't you curious how much I paid for them to completely disregard those 10 million? I spoke these words casually, but to Liu Ruyan, they sounded like the whispers of a demon. So it really was Yi Feng who hired those 3 thugs, and only Yi Feng would carry such a deep, burning grudge to want Luo Yifan dead at all costs. Even though her suspicions were confirmed, only infinite terror remained in Lu Ruyan's heart. This madman Ye Feng hadn't had enough of tormenting them for all this time. He wanted to slaughter everyone, and now knowing this secret, would she even be allowed to live?
Why?
Lu Ruyan's entire body shook uncontrollably, the fear in her heart surging higher and higher. If you're that curious, then I'll let you know. I held out the pocket watch and swung it before her eyes. It's all thanks to this little toy. Lu Ruyan furrowed her brows deeply, her expression filled with confusion. I let out a soft chuckle and explained leisurely. This is called the soul-snatching pocket watch. I only need to activate it a little, and I can control a person's mind, making them do whatever I command.
What do you think?
Quite magical, isn't it? Isn't it just fascinating? Lu Ruyan was shivering. She had lived for over a decade and had never witnessed any supernatural phenomena. If it weren't for the events of today, she would surely have scoffed at such words. But now that the truth was laid bare before her eyes, she had no choice but to believe it.
Yes, that's right.
It truly is very magical. Lu Ruyan had no other choice. To try and stall for time, hoping someone would notice something was wrong here.
Is that so?
I also find it quite magical. I leaned close to her ear and teased her. So, why don't you try and guess?
What command will I give you?
To kill someone or to commit suicide. Lu Ruyan completely broke down. She grabbed my shirt tightly and pleaded, Ye Feng, I'm begging you. Please, I beg of you. I'll do anything you say. Just don't. Don't control me. Don't kill me. I'm begging you. I looked coldly at this woman, the one who framed me and sent me to prison for 8 years, without a single shred of pity in my eyes. I growled out every single word.
Guess.
No. I won't guess. Please, I'm begging you to spare me. Lu Ruyan shook her head frantically, scrambling up and trying to flee, only to be kicked back down to the ground, with her hair in disarray. Lu Ruyan felt a bone-deep pain coursing through her body, leaving her without even the strength to stand. Yi Feng, why are you treating me like this? I only treated you as a backup for 3 years. That's not a crime worthy of death. I'm begging you, don't kill me. The next second, that demonic voice rang out again.
Guess.
Lu Ruyan wept piteously, her words incoherent. Please. I beg of you. I gave her a sharp slap and said coldly,
Guess.
Ill guess? Lu Ruyan couldn't endure this situation any longer. I guess you'll force me to kill someone, or force me to commit suicide.
Wrong?
My voice was as cold as ice. If every word was hissed through my teeth, but falling upon Liu Ruyan's ears, that sound was like heavenly music. A flicker of hope was ignited in her heart. I don't have to die after all. Liu Ruyan's face lit up with joy, and she hurriedly knelt down to kowtow.
Thank you. Thank you.
I haven't finished yet. There's a country with an atmosphere that suits you perfectly.
Where is it?
India, of course. Are you happy? A heart that was hanging in suspense within, Lu Ruyan finally sank into despair. Watching Lu Ruyan's back vanish around the street corner, the notification sound for completing, the mission still hadn't rung out. I shook my head helplessly and was about to turn and leave when my phone suddenly vibrated. It was Auntie Bai. A smile immediately appeared on my face, and even my voice became significantly gentler.
What is it, Auntie Bai?
In my heart, IG was truly my only love. Everyone else had to be pushed aside. It's nothing. I just wanted to ask Xiao Feng, are you coming home for dinner tonight?
Your sister Yinger is back.
Auntie Bai's gentle voice was like a spring breeze across my ear, hearing that familiar voice. My heart, which was boiling with the thrill of successful revenge, gradually calmed down. Hearing the words Yinger Nuna, my brows instinctively shot up. Gao Yinger was Auntie Bai's second daughter, a true genius girl, currently a PhD student at Hangzhou University. But she was very cold by nature, and our relationship was just average. I hurriedly said, of course I am. I'm definitely coming. I'm on my way back now.
Auntie Bai, please remember to save some food for me.
Yes, of course. I've already set the table for you. Auntie Bai's voice carried a hint of a smile. Hurry back. Everyone is waiting for you. Pausing for a moment, she added another instruction. Don't drive too fast, okay? Be careful on the road and pay attention to safety. I know, Auntie Bai. Don't worry. I'm the most careful driver there is. After hanging up the phone, I stepped on the gas and headed straight for home. Half an hour later, I pushed open the living room door. Mouth-watering aroma of food wafted toward me. Ia's Auntie Bai and Gao Yinger had already been waiting at the dining table for a long time.
I'm sorry.
The traffic was so bad just now. I'm sorry for making you wait so long. Saying that, I strode forward quickly, rushed to the table, and plopped down. It's okay. I just finished cooking as well. Auntie Bai's face broke into a gentle smile. Her eyes filled with care. Come, eat while it's hot, dear. Have lots of meat. I think Xiao Feng has gotten thinner lately. While speaking, she constantly picked up several succulent pieces of beef and placed them all into my bowl. I smiled and complimented her. Thank you, Auntie Bai. Auntie Bai's cooking is truly on another level. Just from the aroma alone, I'm already about to drool. Then I picked up a piece of savory food and put it in Auntie Bai's bowl. You should eat plenty too. Auntie Bai looked at me with a smile. As long as you like it, that's all that matters. I turned to look at Gao Yinger beside me and gave her a giggling greeting. Yinger Nuna, long time no see. Gao Yinger looked up and said extremely concisely, yeah, long time no see. Today, Gao Yinger was dressed very simply in a plain light-colored t-shirt paired with tight jeans, accentuating her perfect curves. Her long snow-white legs seemed longer than my own life, as beautiful as those of a professional model. She radiated a cold aura that said, keep your distance. While shoveling rice into my mouth, I stole glances at her, thinking to myself, Yinger Nuna is getting more beautiful by the day. It's just a shame her personality is as cold as Antarctic ice. At the table, Auntie Bai kept putting food in my bowl, and the interaction between us was incredibly warm. Meanwhile, Gao Yinger ate in silence, only occasionally looking up, her eyes betraying no emotion. Dinner gradually came to an end. I really wanted to know Gao Yinger's data, so I immediately thought about viewing her information. Name, Gao Yinger. Beauty, 98. Personality, cold, arrogant. Hobbies, reading, studying. Favorability, 75. Innate succubus saint body, 20. Experience, 0 times. G, 0 times. Marital status, single. Currently, having a headache over her graduation thesis. Current mood, normal. Current wish, hopes for a smooth graduation. As I ate, I mulled over Gao Yinger's information. This woman won't be easy to conquer. Auntie Bai had a total of 3 daughters. Her eldest daughter, Gao Kier, and second daughter, Gao Yinger, were a pair of twins. Yet their personalities were polar opposites. One was gentle and lovely, while the other was cold and distant. The youngest daughter, Gao Bao, was even more mischievous and haughty. 3 daughters, each with her own distinct charm. I decided to take the initiative and probe for information. Yinger Nuna, you seem a bit unhappy. Have you been having some trouble lately? Hearing this, Auntie Bai also looked at her daughter, seeing that she was indeed knitting her brows in worry. So she spoke up too. That's right.
Yinger, what's been bothering you lately?
Oh, it's nothing. It's just that my graduation, the thesis, is a bit difficult to write. After hearing that, I immediately searched the system store to see if there were any relevant items. Sure enough, after a period of relentless searching, I finally found physics professor level knowledge for 300 points. I didn't hesitate to buy it immediately. Purchase successful. Exchange successful. Love points deducted by 300. Currently 100 points remaining. The next moment, a stream of cool air surged into my brain. Now, I felt that I was more than capable of lecturing, even physics doctoral candidates.
Yinger Nuna, what's the topic of your thesis?
Tell me about it. Maybe I can help you with something. Gao Yinger looked at me like I was an idiot. The cold great beauty actually showed a bewildered expression, making for a truly fascinating contrast. If it had been the arrogant little brat, Gao Bao, she might have started mocking me already, but Gao Yinger didn't. Her expression remained unchanged. Yes, she recited the long title of her thesis. I showed a look of excitement. I actually understand this. I rattled off a series of related physics concepts. Gao Yinger was completely stunned. She never expected a first-year freshman to understand a physics doctoral graduation thesis. Gao Yinger's favorability toward the host increased by 1, currently 76 points. Host, please keep trying. Her face was full of disbelief, her 1,000-year ice mountain expression showing a rare flicker of emotion. She hurriedly asked about more concepts from the thesis, and I answered fluently, without even needing a moment to think. Auntie Bai, though she didn't understand a word, still smiled as she watched the two interact, though a sudden pang of sadness hit her heart. Perhaps Zhao Feng prefers young girls like Yinger. Gao Yinger sat down on her chair in a daze, with an expression as if she were questioning her own life, completely different from her cold demeanor earlier. She, of all people, wasn't even as good as a high school graduate. Gao Yinger asked unwillingly, "Where did you learn all this?" I'm self-taught. I like to browse through physics books in my spare time. Gao Yinger was speechless. She found it hard to accept that, after all her years of study, she was inferior to me who had just browsed through some books. She took a deep breath, calming her emotions, trying to regain her ice beauty persona. Beep. High EQ selection function activated. One horn smile in a wicked and arrogant way. Sorry, but being a genius is just the threshold to meeting me. 2. Say in a flippant tone, Yinger Nuna, you wouldn't want to fail to graduate, would you? 3. Say with an innocent face, Yinger Nuna, how about I come to your room later? I'm quite interested in this field as well, so we can study together for a bit. I chuckled. Yinger Nuna, how about I head over to your room in a bit? I find this knowledge very interesting too, so we can research it together.
Ding.
Love points increased by 100, currently 200 points. Gao Yinger's favorability toward the host increased by 1, currently 77 points. Host, please keep working hard. Gao Yinger's expression remained the same. All right. Although she was still very concise, but a small ripple had formed in her heart. Gao Yinger's favorability toward the host increased by 3, currently 80 points. Host, keep going. After eating and drinking to my fill, I followed Gao Yinger back to her room. Inside the bedroom, Gao Yinger pulled out a stack of thesis papers and handed them to me. Take a look. She still wasn't ready to believe that a first-year student could truly understand this thesis. I took the manuscript, sat at the desk, and began to read, while Gao Yinger stood right beside me. She felt it hadn't been that long since she last saw me. So why did I look so pleasing to the eye now? Sigh. If it weren't for her supervisor being busy with a project, she wouldn't have gone as far as to seek advice from a freshman like this. The more she thought about it, the more embarrassed she felt. While Gao Yinger was lost in thought, her gaze drifted around the room, accidentally catching sight of the bulging tent. She had never seen such a vigorous sight before, and her exquisitely beautiful face instantly flushed red. This 1,000-year-old ice goddess suddenly became incredibly seductive in that moment.
Just what on earth is this kid thinking about?
I didn't notice Gao Yinger's odd behavior at all, and quickly skimmed through the thesis manuscript, then spoke up confidently. No problem, I basically know which parts you're stuck on now. Noticing Gao Yinger's blushing face, I felt a bit confused and asked, Yinger, Nuna, are you feeling hot?
Oh.
What? Startled, Gao Yinger quickly withdrew her gaze. Panic-stricken, she said, yes, that's right. The weather is a bit warm today. After saying that, she grabbed her shoulder-length hair and tied it up, revealing her snow-white neck, then used her small hand to fan herself incessantly. Her cherry-like lips blew a soft breath.
Ace, if trying to dispel the restlessness in her heart.
Beep. High EQ selection function activated. 1. Lick your lips. With a wicked smile. Are you stupid? Nuna. If it's hot, why don't you just take off all your clothes? If you don't know how, let me help you with that. 2. Say flirtatiously. Gao Yinger Nuna. It's not even hot today. It's actually quite cool. I think it's your heart that's burning up. Let me have a look. 3. Say gently. Then let me turn on the air conditioner. I'm feeling a bit hot too. I stood up, walked to the side, and grabbed the remote, then said with a smile. Then, let me turn on the air conditioner. I'm feeling a bit hot too. The cold air kept blowing out, making the room much cooler. Romance points 100, currently 300 points. Gao Yinger's affection for the host 5, currently 85 points. Please keep up the good work, host. Just turning on the air conditioner increased her affection by so much, proving my action hit right at Gao Yinger's heart. After a moment of thought, I understood the reason. Gao Yinger has been independent since childhood, but deep down in her heart, she has always longed to be protected and cared for like a little girl. The type who likes to be loved intensely. It's just that with her cold exterior but warm heart, not many people usually pursue her, and most guys feel inferior when they meet her. Cowardly starve, while the bold feast. I grasped Gao Yinger's fair hand. While she was still in a daze, I led her to the desk and sat her down. Then I leaned close to her and began explaining the difficult points in her thesis. Gao Yinger's mind went blank. Her fair neck gradually tinged with a soft pink, and even her dainty ears turned red. She smelled the masculine hormones radiating from beside her. Her heart racing uncontrollably. Gao Yinger's thoughts were drifting. She couldn't hear a single word. Is this still Yi Feng? Just a few days apart, and has become so mature. And so masculine too. Is he going to confess to me later? But we're several years apart. Mom definitely won't agree. If he really confesses, what should I do? Ding! Gao Yinger's affection for the host too, currently 87 points. Please keep up the good work, host. I reached out and stroked her smooth face, saying with a serious expression,
Yinger? Nuna? Do you have a fever?
Your face is quite hot. Gao Yinger suddenly stood up, head down and silent, pushing me out the door. With a thud, the door slammed shut, followed by her slightly trembling voice. I'm a bit tired today. I'm going to rest first. Let's finish the explanation next time. Ding! Gao Yinger's affection for the host 1, currently 88 points. Please keep up the good work, host. Women say no, but their bodies are honest. I replied in a nonchalant tone. Okay, then rest early. Yinger Nuna. There's no rush anyway. After that, I intended to go help Auntie Bai Ji with a shoulder massage. As soon as I stepped into the living room, I saw Auntie Bai Ji practicing yoga. My Adam's apple moved instinctively. At this moment, Auntie Bai Ji was performing a high-difficulty stretching pose. Shh! I swallowed hard, feeling my throat go dry. My eyes were pinned to Auntie Bai Ji, unable to look away. Auntie Bai Ji seemed to feel my gaze. She paused for a moment, then let out a gentle smile.
Ye Feng, you're out.
High EQ selection function activated. 1-1. Smile lustfully.
Hey, Auntie Bai.
I can't just come out alone. Why don't you give me a hand? 2. Say flirtatiously. Madam, why did you stop? Keep doing yoga. I haven't seen enough yet. 3. Play dumb. Yes. Yinger Nuna is a bit tired, so she went to rest first. Explain the thesis another time when we have time. At that moment, I snapped back to reality and said instinctively, yes, Yinger Nuna seemed a bit tired, so she went to rest first. Finish the thesis explanation next time. Romance points 100, currently 400 points. Auntie Bai Ji smiled gently. It must have been hard on you. After saying that, she stood up and walked toward me, gently wiping the sweat from my forehead. I felt dazed by all of this. Only in front of Auntie Bai Ji did I know what was truly worth cherishing. Soon, Auntie Bai, once I complete my final revenge, I will surely take good care of you for the rest of my life. Looking at the gentle beauty before me, with her faint scent drifting into my nose, an uncontrollable surge of impulse suddenly rose in my heart. I slightly trembled as I spread my arms, pulling Auntie Bai Ji into a tight embrace. The moment I hugged Auntie Bai Ji, It felt like holding the most precious treasure in the world. My heart began to pound wildly. If it wanted to burst out of my chest. Auntie Bai Ji's soft breath brushed against my neck, making my heart tremble along with it. Auntie Bai Ji's body stiffened slightly, but she quickly relaxed, and this small change warmed my heart immensely. Bai Ji's affection for the host won, currently 95 points. Please keep up the good work, host. Auntie Bai Jie leaned softly against me, both of our hearts racing. In this silent embrace after a long while, Auntie Bai Ji reluctantly pushed me away. Her face wore a shy blush, but her eyes were filled with tenderness. Yi Feng, sit for a while. I'll go pour you a glass of water. After saying that, she turned toward the kitchen. Watching Auntie Bai Ji's back, I took a deep breath, trying to calm my racing heart. A moment later, Auntie Bai Ji brought me a glass of water, then sat down right next to me. Yi Feng, have you been upset about anything lately? Can you talk to Auntie Bai about it? Auntie Bai Ji's voice was soft, with a hint of caution. I took the water, had a sip, then slowly began to speak.
Auntie Bai? Okay.
It's just that I didn't do very well on the entrance exam. Plus, university life is about to start. And by then, I probably won't be able to see you every day. So, I just feel a bit down.
Auntie Bai Ji gently took my hand.
Then said tenderly, well, you can come home to rest every day. I'll buy you a car. After all, Zhongcheng University isn't that far. My eyes lit up with joy. Really.
Want. Auntie Bai find me annoying.
Auntie Bai Ji lightly patted the back of my hand,
bit her red lips, and then said shyly, how could that be? I also like being with Yi Feng. That's great. Auntie Bai is the best. I excitedly pulled Auntie Bai Ji into a hug. After a long while, Auntie Bai Ji gently broke free, which left me feeling very invigorated. The hurdle of hugging has finally been cleared. Just then, the yoga instructor's voice came from the TV. Next, let's perform a more challenging pose. To demonstrate the ultimate flexibility of the body, Auntie Bai Ji glanced at the TV, covering her mouth with a soft cry. Oh dear, you made me forget I was even practicing yoga. Seeing this scene, an idea popped into my head, and I began silently searching the system shop. System, exchange for the yoga master skill. Ding, exchange successful. Romance points 100, currently 300 points. Yoga master Ye Feng is officially on the scene. I turned to Auntie Bai Ji and said, Auntie Bai, let me help you with your yoga. I've studied it a bit before, and my technique is quite good. Auntie Bai Ji bit her red lips, a bit hesitant. It wasn't that she didn't believe I knew yoga. Practicing yoga with two people, she feared some of the poses might be too intimate. Auntie Bai Ji thought about it. Wed already had a massage and just hugged, and my behavior had always been very proper, whereas she was the one with the stray thoughts. But just thinking about the two of us practicing together, her beautiful face turned burning hot, and her fair neck gradually flushed. Auntie Bai Ji's mind was a mess. Yet, she unconsciously agreed, okay, thank you for the trouble, Ye Feng. Hearing this, my heart leaped with joy, but I remained calm on the outside. I gestured with my hand. Auntie Bai, let's go over to the yoga mat. Auntie Bai Ji's cheeks were crimson. Yes, she nodded slightly. She was like a child who had done something wrong. Head down as she followed quietly behind me. On the TV, the yoga instructor was guiding the first pose, the extended triangle pose. I took a deep breath, trying to calm my wildly beating heart. Then spoke up, Auntie Bai, let's try this pose first. It helps stretch the legs and waist. As I spoke, I stepped behind Auntie Bai Ji and gently placed my hands on her waist. Auntie Bai Ji's entire body suddenly shuddered, her whole frame tensing up immediately. Looking like a frightened little fawn, I whispered in her ear, Auntie Bai, first, spread your legs apart, about twice the width of your shoulders. That warm breath caused a layer of pink to flush over Auntie Bai Ji's neck. Auntie Bai Ji slowly spread her legs, her heart beating so fast it felt like it would jump out. My hands slid gently from her waist down, grabbing her wrists and guiding her to lean to one side. A bit more. Feel the stretch in your body. Auntie Bai Ji's cheeks were as red as ripe apples. She bit her lip, trying to stay calm, barely managing to complete the pose. Auntie Bai Ji panted softly, her body still trembling slightly. I hurriedly supported her, my hand accidentally touching her arm, that smooth sensation making my heart flutter.
Auntie Bai did great.
Immediately after, the instructor on TV began to guide the spinal twist pose. Auntie Bai, this pose helps make the spine flexible. It's very good for your health. Auntie Bai Ji blushed and nodded slightly, feeling both nervous and a bit expectant. I told Auntie Bai Ji to sit on the mat, and then I sat down behind her. Auntie Bai, stretch your left leg out first, then cross your right leg over your left. I helped Auntie Bai Ji adjust her posture as I spoke, and following my guidance, Auntie Bai Ji slowly turned to one side, her hands searching for balance. From behind, I gently hugged Auntie Bai Ji's waist, helping her maintain her balance. Turn a bit more, Auntie Bai. Auntie Bai Ji turned her head back, and our faces were so close, we could clearly feel each other's breath. Auntie Bai Ji's gaze flitted away in confusion. She had never been this close to me before. This intimate atmosphere left her feeling both shy and a bit stunned. After completing the movement, Auntie Bai Ji felt as though all her strength had been drained, and she slumped back into my arms. I held her tightly, and only after a long while did Auntie Bai Ji gently push me away. She smoothed her messy hair and whispered, Ye Feng. There's still the next movement. Her voice was as soft as a mosquito's buzz. Right then, the instructor on TV began to guide the side split pose. I turned to look at Auntie Bai Ji, a hint of anticipation in my eyes.
Auntie Bai, why don't we try this one?
It's the final test of flexibility.
Auntie Bai Ji looked at the pose on the TV.
Feeling both afraid and curious, she bit her lip, and after a long hesitation, she finally nodded. She whispered, "But Ye Feng, I'm afraid it will hurt." I quickly reassured her. Auntie Bai,
don't worry, it'll go very slowly.
I had Auntie Bai Ji stand on the yoga mat first. Then I squatted down. Next, I gently took hold of Auntie Bai Ji's thighs, making her body tremble as she looked at me nervously.
Auntie Bai, just relax first.
It'll help you slowly spread your legs. I gradually applied pressure, and Auntie Bai Ji's legs began to open bit by bit. Her breathing became more rapid, and small beads of sweat appeared on her forehead. I asked solicitously, "Auntie Bai, does it hurt?"
Auntie Bai Ji gritted her teeth and shook her head slightly.
As I continued to apply force, Auntie Bai Ji's legs opened wider and wider. I encouraged her. "Auntie Bai, you're doing so well. Just a little bit more." Auntie Bai Ji's body was now fully open, forming a perfect side split. Her body was trembling uncontrollably, whether from pain or nervousness. Looking at the alluring beauty before me, my throat felt agonizingly dry. Auntie Bai Ji looked up at me. Our eyes met, and a thick, intimate atmosphere filled the space. Gao Yinger, holding a glass of water, was about to take a sip. The sight of the two of us sitting opposite each other struck her like a bolt from the blue.
"What are you two doing?"
Auntie Bai, Jie and I were startled by the sudden voice. I pretended as if nothing was wrong. "Nothing. I'm just teaching Auntie Bai yoga." "Is that really it?" Gao Yinger's eyes scrutinized the two of us. If it were before, she wouldn't have felt any ripple in her heart. Yet today, she felt a bit jealous. She didn't expect to be jealous of her own mother. And Gao Yinger was startled by this ridiculous thought. She told herself, "It's definitely not that. I'm just curious." Auntie Bai Ji tilted her head to the side, looking obviously uneasy. "Yes, that's right. Yi Feng's technique is quite good. He's already taught me several poses." She didn't know why she felt so guilty. After all, they were just practicing yoga, and there hadn't been any overly intimate actions. Gao Yinger glanced at me curiously. "I didn't expect our Yi Feng to be so multi-talented. We haven't met for a while, and you've changed so much. Not only do you understand PhD-level physics, but now you're an expert in yoga too." I rubbed my nose and laughed awkwardly. "Not really. I just have too much free time, so I look into everything a bit. It's good if I can actually use what I learn." Gao Yinger nodded vaguely. "Mom, you and Yu Feng should go to bed early too." After saying that, she poured herself some water, then went straight upstairs to her room. Auntie Bai Ji and I stared at each other, both seeing the embarrassment in each other's eyes. I was the first to break the silence. "Well, I'll go upstairs to rest now. Auntie Bai should go to sleep early too." At the same time, I didn't forget to leave a message. "Next time I'll teach you some other poses." Okay. Good night, Ye Feng. Good night, Auntie Bai." With that, I walked straight to my room. Auntie Bai Ji watching my back, her mind drifting off to who knows where, her beautiful face gradually turning red. Back in my room, I lay on the bed, my head filled with the images from earlier, practicing yoga with Auntie Bai Ji. Her perfect figure, her shy face, and the intimate gestures between us, all making it impossible for me to close my eyes. Let's set a small goal. Next time, I have to kiss her. On the other hand, Auntie Bai Ji was lying in bed, tossing and turning, unable to sleep. Her heart still hadn't returned to normal. Just thinking about the intimate session with me, her face would flush uncontrollably. The most effective way to take revenge on a man is to take away the women in his life. In my past life, my father's best friend Gao Yi not only stole all my family assets, but also conspired with the school beauty to send me to prison. Now that I've been reborn, I will defeat him in the career Hayes so proud of, and then force him to hand over those shares. But that's only the beginning. For when he returns home, Hell realized his wife, and all 3 of his daughters have left him for me. The next day, I decided to go to the company for an inspection. So I drove to Wuyu Media headquarters. The second I stepped into the office area, countless eyes turned toward me. Both Wei Jixue and Yuan Hao were staring. Yes, these two were Gao Yi's loyal henchmen. Wei Jixue frowned slightly. "Isn't that kid CEO? Yes, son?
What the hell is he doing at the company?"
Yuan Hao, standing next to him, gave a mocking smile. "The chance for us to score points has arrived. CEO Gao already gave us instructions that if we see this Ye-sun show up here, we must give him a proper reception. We have to give him a warning blow. After all, in this company now, CEO Gao is the one who makes the decisions." Wei Jixue looked on with utter contempt. How old is this brat even? He just got lucky in his previous life to inherit the assets from his dead father. Now he thinks he can manage a company. He should look in a mirror and see who he is. After saying that, he aggressively walked toward me and spoke with a sarcastic, mocking tone. "Oh, isn't this our young master Ye? What wind blew you all the way here to the company today?" I frowned slightly, giving him a cold look. "I am the largest shareholder of this company. What does my inspection have to do with someone like you? Who do you think you are? To try and control my business? Of course, I'm no stranger to these 2 pieces of trash. They are Gao Yi's distant relatives, relying on their connection to him to run wild in the company, specifically harassing new employees. Seeing Wei Jixue speechless from my scolding, Yuan Hao quickly stepped forward to intervene. Young Master Ye, it shouldn't be said like that. I understand you're concerned about the company, but business is business, and everyone has their specialty. Since before CEO Ye passed away, the business wasn't doing well. Fortunately, CEO Gao took the helm to steer this ship through the storm, allowing our company to gradually get on track as it is now. So don't come here making a mess of things. Wei Jixue finally snapped back to reality, hurriedly cutting in to continue.
That's right. That's right.
Ever since CEO Yi passed away, under the brilliant and wise leadership of CEO Gao, as well as the tireless efforts of us two, this company was finally able to grow and develop. Everyone around heard those words, and they couldn't help but feel a shiver of dread, thinking to themselves that these two were truly beyond the pale. Yet no one dared to say a word, as everyone knew clearly. These two were Gao Yi's closest subordinates, and if you offended them, your days at this company would be numbered. How could I let these two types of people run wild in front of me? In the next moment, I swung my arm and delivered a thunderous slap, making Wei Jixue's wretched face swell up instantly. Then I swung my leg and delivered a powerful kick, while everyone was still dazed and didn't understand what happened. I followed up with a kick that sent Yuan Hao flying several meters. Their miserable screams echoed through the office, and everyone present stood there with their mouths agape witnessing this. Yuan Hao and Wei Jixue were rolling on the floor in pain, their groans and cries continuing endlessly. I spoke coldly, my face as icy as a sheet of paper. Who is the HR manager here? Get out here now. The HR manager heard the call and came running in a panic, his face clearly showing worry and confusion. He looked at me, then at Yuan Hao, and Wei Jixue groaning on the floor, wondering what on earth was happening, not knowing what kind of crazy script was playing out today. These two usually act out in the company, relying on their power to bully others, seriously affecting the discipline and culture of the company. They must be fired immediately. Upon hearing this, the HR manager's face immediately showed embarrassment and difficulty. He knew all too well the close relationship between these two and Gao Yi. If he fired them now, he certainly wouldn't know how to explain it to CEO Gao, so he timidly spoke up. Young Master Ye, but these two have been with the company for a long time, and in their work so far, there hasn't been any major mistake, so this sudden firing might be a bit. I said fire them immediately. Or do you want to go with them? The HR manager shuddered under my icy gaze. He was trembling all over, though he feared Gao Yi's blame. He was even more terrified that I would fire him on the spot, with a major shareholder on one side and the current chairman on the other. He didn't dare offend anyone. Having no choice, he grit his teeth and nodded. Yes, yes. President Dai Feng, I'll get on it right away. Colleagues around us witnessing this scene were all so shocked their jaws dropped. Then I addressed everyone in the company. Has anyone else been harassed by them? Or forced into any hidden rules? Come see me privately after work. I guarantee I will send them to prison. Gao Yi aggressively pushed open the glass door and began shouting curses loudly.
What is going on here?
Why aren't you working instead of standing here gossiping?
Yuan Hao, Wei Jixue.
What's the meaning of this? Whoever did this, get the hell out here now. Gao Yi had been in the chairman's office, schooling his little secretary with his mouth, when he was suddenly startled by the loud noise, causing him to jump in fright and shrivel up. After the shock, fury rushed to his head, and he stormed out to confront the situation. He scanned the room, his eyes quickly meeting my bone-chilling gaze. I did it. Got a problem with that? Gao Yi's throat went dry, cursing inwardly. How did this brat end up here? Just as he was about to put on a kind facade, Yuan Hao and Wei Jixue stumbled and crawled toward him. Both were crying piteously, their faces covered in tears and snot. President Gao, you must get justice for us. Yuan Hao clung tightly to Gao Yi's leg, wailing through his sobs. This Dai Feng just arrived and started hitting people, and even threatened to fire us. Is there no law and order left in this world? Wei Jixue chimed in from beside him, covered in mess. That's right, President Gao, we've always been devoted to you. How could he treat us like this? He wasn't just hitting our backsides, he was slapping President Gao right in the face. Gao Yi's eye twitched, his brow furrowed deeply. He looked at my cold expression, intending to gloss over the matter for now. Xiao Feng, these two lack discretion in their work, and perhaps they've offended you. Young people have hot tempers, I can understand that. Then, his Adam's apple bobbed. Yes, he forced out a smile, however. Hitting people in public isn't good after all. Give your Uncle Gao some face. I'll have them apologize to you.
And well, call it even?
Gao Yi glanced at the two still wailing piteously, his eye twitching incessantly, cursing them in his mind. They really had no sense of the situation. Then, he kicked them away and barked.
Apologize to President Dai Feng right now.
They finally snapped out of it, hurriedly bowing in apology, President. President Di Feng, our dog mouths. Wear it guarded. We deserve the beating. Please be magnanimous and forgive us. The corner of my mouth curled into a mocking smile. President Gao on the 12th of last month, Wei Jixue, in the artist lounge, used hidden rules against trainee quat wanting. On July 3rd, Yuan Hao, under the guise of an audition, lured Zhang Meng to the Hilton Hotel, room 1603. There are many more examples like this. Do I need to list them one by one? These were things I had accidentally investigated about Gao Yi in my past life, and now they were perfect for scaring them into a confession. There are quite a lot of these stories. Shall I hand over the surveillance footage copies to the police? Saying that, I leisurely pulled out my phone, waving it in front of everyone. Or should we bring both parties here to confront each other right now? Though I didn't actually have any evidence in my hands, it was clear everyone present was terrified by the threat, especially the guilty ones like Wei Jixue and Yuan Hao, who could no longer even stand, collapsing onto the floor like piles of sludge. As soon as those words were spoken, the office area was instantly filled with constant gasps of amazement. They didn't show it on their faces, but in their hearts, they were all applauding. Normally, these two lackeys were always arrogant and tyrannical in the company, and everyone had been bullied by them to some extent. Seeing them meet their downfall now, with a high chance of going to prison, brought everyone a sense of satisfaction beyond words. Gao Yi's heart tightened. A surge of intense unease rose within him. He had a bad feeling that Dai Feng hadn't come today with good intentions. Tiny beads of sweat broke out on his forehead. The corner of my mouth quirked up. I asked with a half smile. President Gao, how do you think we should handle this? Gao Yi was cursing internally. Damn it. How the hell should I know what to do? These two useless trashes. It's one thing to use hidden rules, but they even left evidence for someone to grab. He truly hadn't expected that I, a supposedly ordinary college student, would suddenly become so tough, even holding evidence in my hands. This brat must have been secretly planning this for a long time. Today's event certainly wasn't a spur-of-the-moment outburst. He must want to use this to overthrow me, to take back control of the company. Di Feng clearly always saw me as a good uncle. So why did he suddenly pull this stunt today? Where did things go wrong? Could Dai Feng have found out about what happened back then? No way. Everything back then was clearly cleaned up perfectly. It can't be. I absolutely cannot let him achieve his goal. Thoughts raced through Gao Yi's mind, his face turning pale and then flushed. He suddenly stood up, grabbed the teacup off the table, and hurled it at Yuan Hao's shoulder. Scalding tea spilled down his suit, making Yuan Hao cry out in pain from the heat. Yet he didn't dare dodge. You two animals? The company treated you well, and yet you dare to commit such heartless acts. Gao Yi put on a face of pure indignation. This is absolutely lawless. This kind of moral depravity cannot be tolerated. They must be punished severely. Yet in his heart, he was constantly calculating. These two were his trusted confidants. If he really punished them severely as Dai Feng wanted, his influence within the company would be significantly weakened. No, I must find a way to minimize this mess, to make it disappear. I can't let him get his way. I have to regain control of the situation immediately. Gao Yi roared, "Security, drag these two scumbags out of here." As if I had seen right through his thoughts, I interrupted him immediately. Just call the police already. Or is President Gao waiting for them to destroy the evidence? As soon as Yuan Hao and Wei Jixue heard about the police, their faces instantly turned deathly pale. The two who were just wailing loudly now seemed to lose all strength in their bodies. Collapsing completely onto the floor, Yuan Hao scrambled on all fours, crawling over to cling to Gao Yi's leg again, pleading miserably, "President Gao, please save us. We truly know we were wrong. We won't ever do it again. You can't hand us over to the police."
We'll be finished if we go in there.
Wei Jixue kowtowed like he was pounding garlic, his forehead hitting the floor with sharp thuds. President Dai Feng, President Gao, we will definitely pay compensation to the victims. Please have mercy and let us go just this once. We have old mothers and young children. If we go to prison, how will they survive? President Gao, this matter cannot be vague. We must give the entire staff and those victims a proper explanation. Every word I spoke was sharp and powerful, pressing him at every turn, leaving Gao Yi momentarily speechless. At this point, these two useless trashes, Yuan Hao and Wei Jixue, must be abandoned. Gao Yi's back teeth ground together with a creak. He growled his command, "Hold on to them." Hearing the order, the security team immediately rushed forward to restrain the two. The crotch of Wei Jixue's pants suddenly soaked through, the acrid smell of urine mixing with Yuan Hao's pleas.
Yes, they echoed throughout the office.
Xiao Chen called the police. Hearing this, Security Captain Chen Gao Yuan immediately called the police. Seeing this situation, Yuan Hao and Wei Jixue knew all too well that they had become discarded pawns. Their faces were white with terror. They collapsed to their knees with a thud, incessantly kowtowing for mercy. President Dai Feng, we were wrong. Please save us. President Dai Feng, we really know our mistake. Please forgive us just this once. President Dai Feng, spare us. It was all instructed by President Gao. Before he could finish the sentence, security guards covered their mouths tightly. Yuan Hao's eyes widened, his face flushing red from stifled anger, only able to make muffled, indistinct sounds. The veins in Gao Yi's neck bulged, his sinister eyes seemingly spitting fire. Take them downstairs. Hand them over when the police arrive. The surrounding crowd suddenly broke into murmurs.
So cool.
Now this is what a real overbearing CEO looks like. Incredible. Someone should have dealt with these animals long ago. Damn, that promising talent I worked so hard to find. Resigned in despair because they tried to force hidden rules on her. Scattered applause gradually grew into a roar. Several female employees who had been harassed were already in tears. Gao Yi's temple twitched incessantly. After taking a deep breath, He forced a bright smile and said, "My colleagues, it's because of my lax management of subordinates that these two were able to deceive those above and below, committing such heinous crimes that everyone in the company hates. Rest assured, everyone, I will absolutely not let them off. Next, I will cooperate closely with the police officers to investigate the truth thoroughly, clear the names of the victims, and to bring justice to everyone." A few sycophant employees immediately cheered. President Gao is mighty. Gao Yi clapped his hands, signaling them to return to their workstations. All right, everyone get back to work. Then he turned to the secretary beside him, Zhao Lin. You must check the phones of everyone present. I don't want to see any video clips related. Today's events leaked online. The secretary, Xiao Lin, wearing a tight miniskirt and black stockings, nodded slightly. Yes, President Gao. After the secretary left, Gao Yi looked at me with a benevolent expression and spoke. It's summer break right now, isn't it? Your Uncle Gao has been so busy lately that I haven't had time to visit you. Thinking back, it's my fault. Before old Dai passed away, I promised him I would take good care of you. Gao Yi smiled and patted my shoulder. Xiao Feng, let's go inside and continue our talk. I stood silently watching the performance of this animal, the corner of my mouth curving slightly into a smile. Then I calmly replied, all right. With that, I followed Gao Yi into the chairman's office. Inside the office, Gao Yi's expression was as dark as a storm cloud, but as soon as he turned around, his face changed to a warm smile. Even the wrinkles at the corners of his eyes radiated kindness. He enthusiastically walked over to the sofa, gesturing for me to sit down. Muttering, Zhao Feng, you've finally come. I've really been looking forward to this. Just waiting to have a proper talk with you. You silly boy. It's summer break, and you didn't even tell your Uncle Gao. I've been worrying about you all this time, now that you're all grown up. If old Dai and my sister-in-law could see this from the afterlife, they would surely feel very much at peace. As he spoke, he personally poured me a cup of hot tea, his movements incredibly skilled and natural, just like an elder who always cares for his junior. This is the Da Hong Pao tea your father liked most. While pouring, Gao Yi intentionally let the teapot spout vibrate slightly, causing the amber liquid in the porcelain cup to ripple elegantly. Anyone seeing this side of him? Would they not praise him as a good elder? He slightly lowered his eyes, hiding the icy glare deep within them. Corner of my mouth quirked into a perfectly polite smile. Uncle Gao, didn't I come straight to find you as soon as I arrived at the company? Pausing for a moment, I said in a mocking tone, who could have guessed? My father has only been gone a few years, and already such scum. And maggots have appeared to bully others. It seems Uncle Gao, with your thousands of duties, hasn't been keeping much of an eye on the subordinates. The company's profits over the past 2 years seem to have been quite mediocre as well. Even though you're my elder and it's not my place to say much, I can't just watch my father's hard work be ruined in an instant. You and my father were lifelong friends. So surely Uncle Gao will understand this junior's perspective. Hearing these words that sounded respectful, but were actually full of hidden sarcasm, the smile on Gao Yi's face gradually vanished. He felt everything was slowly slipping out of his control. At this moment in the chairman's office, Gao Yi reined in his thoughts and suddenly burst into laughter. That laugh sounded strangely jarring. Then you've misunderstood your Uncle Gao. Actually, I've known for a long time that those two scumbags were using my name to act out in the company, bullying their subordinates. As soon as I heard, my lungs were bursting with rage. I just wanted to tear them into 100 pieces, but to avoid tipping them off, so I could catch the whole lot at once. I didn't call the police to arrest them immediately. I've been having people secretly gather evidence all this time. It's just that you happen to catch them today, Zhao Feng. The corner of my mouth quirked up, revealing a mocking smile. If you put it that way, then I've blamed you unfairly. Hearing that, Gao Yi let out a heavy sigh. Xiao Feng, our company has so many matters large and small. I'm so busy every day my head is spinning, I don't even have time to go home. You know, this company is the result of the blood and sweat your father and I poured into it years ago to keep it going. I toil every day from dawn till dusk, to the point that I have no time left for my own family. I truly feel I've failed your Aunt Bai. Gao Yi sighed and lamented. His eyes even seemed to glisten with a hint of tears. I remained silent, coldly watching his performance. Gao Yi pretended to heave a sorrowful sigh as he continued. To tell the truth, it's quite shameful. It's because of my busyness that I neglected the management of subordinates, never imagining those two scumbags would run amok in the company for so long, committing such immoral and harmful acts. Gao Yi grew more indignant as he spoke, slamming his hand onto the table. Xiao Feng, rest assured, I will definitely investigate this to the very end. Give you and the entire staff the most satisfactory explanation, absolutely not letting these two scumbags remain free from the law. I smiled back. I've blamed you unfairly then, Uncle Gao. I really didn't expect you to be so busy. You've worked so hard all these years. How about this? I'm on summer break now, so I have time. And normally, I don't have many classes anyway. So soon I'll return to the company to assist you. Gao Yi's jaw dropped in surprise. Yes, he instinctively tried to decline immediately. Xiao Feng, it's better if you focus on your studies. I've got the company matters under control. Don't tire yourself out worrying about it. Before he could finish, I continued with a smile. Besides, Uncle Gao, You're right. We absolutely cannot let those two scumbags remain free from the law. I'll have to trouble you to put more thought into this matter, and in the coming days, I'll also follow this case closely to prevent you from being deceived by your subordinates again. Let's leave it at that. Gao Yi was dazed by my relentless series of moves, but after all, he had been navigating the business world for many years, and his cunning ran incredibly deep. On the surface, he maintained his composure, but deep in his eyes, there was a sudden flash of frantic cruelty. I was originally the company's largest shareholder, and for that reason alone, no matter how much Gao Yi didn't want it, there was no way he could stop me from returning to the company. What's more, for all these years, Gao Yi had always called himself my elder, building an image before the world, as an uncle who cared for his nephew immensely. If he were to turn on me completely over company matters, then the good man persona he worked so hard to build would surely collapse in an instant. He absolutely could not accept that the image he so carefully crafted would be ruined in a single day like that. After much deliberation, Gao Yi understood that he had no choice but to sacrifice his pawns to save the game. He leaned forward slightly, forcing a smile onto his face. Zhao Feng, if you want to come back and help the company, your Uncle Gao will certainly support you fully. If there's anything you don't understand or need help with, just come find me anytime. Then thank you very much, Uncle Gao. I sat on the sofa, eyes casually scanning our surroundings, seemingly indifferent, but in reality, I was secretly observing every single tiny movement Gao Yi made. In my past life, in my eyes, Gao Yi was an incredibly kind and close elder, until I was framed and sent to prison, learning the truth about my parents' deaths and how Aunt Bai died in a foreign land. It was only then that I realized with a shock that Gao Yi was actually a madman with a truly heartless soul. However, the current me is no longer that naive fool who knew nothing of the world from my past life. Looking at Gao Yi's face that puts on a virtuous show, I only feel a surge of ultimate disgust, wanting nothing more than to rush forward and rip that hypocritical mask right off his face. Gao Yi still maintained the appearance of a kind uncle, speaking with an air of deep devotion. Lately, the company's business situation hasn't been great. Web drama production companies are popping up everywhere, so the competition has become incredibly fierce. I'm truly under a lot of pressure as well. Xiao Feng, it's good that you're coming back to help, but for now, let's just start with the basics, so you can get used to how our company does business. Gao Yi put on a face of sincerity and dedication. If everything he did was for my own good. Inwardly, I felt completely speechless, but on the surface, I tried to stay calm. Uncle Gao, you're older, so you probably don't go online much, so maybe you don't fully understand today's market trends. Lately, I've noticed that short video platforms are growing at an incredibly fast pace.
I think our company could absolutely
establish a department to incubate KOLs, specializing in finding and training social media influencers. Moreover, if this department develops steadily, we can leverage their influence to promote our company's film projects, thereby opening up many promising new directions. On the surface, Gao Yi pretended to be listening intently, but in reality, in his heart, he didn't care for a single word I said. He couldn't help but let out a small smirk, then continued in his moralizing tone. Zhao Feng, having creative ideas is good, you're still far too naive. Those short videos are just where kids mess around. It's fine for filming daily life, but it'll never amount to anything real. What good is having many followers? Making professional web dramas is the only real proper business. Uncle Gao, I've been in this industry for so many years. How could I not understand this better? Uncle Gao, a new era of technology, is opening up golden opportunities right here. If our company can seize this moment, training a team of influential social media stars, then we won't just profit from advertising or sales, but we can also integrate these faces with our existing film production division, opening up even more promising new paths. Deep down, Gao Yi was still filled with contempt. He had always looked down upon these newly emerged short video platforms. However, he suddenly changed his mind. If I wanted to make a mess like that, head let me. Once this project fails miserably, my reputation in the company will surely go up in smoke. And at that point, getting back the shares from my hands will be easier than ever. Thinking of that on Gao Yi's face, a forced smile briefly appeared. Xiao Feng, although your idea still has many immature points, it's still worth trying out once. In that case, your Uncle Gao will support you fully. How about this? On the artist management floor, there's still an empty office room. I'll assign it for your use, since the company's current capital is quite limited, so I'll provide you with 1 million yuan as initial funding. Do your best. Uncle Gao always has faith in you. Uncle Gao, 1 million yuan is honestly a bit too little. According to my preliminary calculations, we need at least 10 million yuan as a contingency fund. What? 10 million. Gao Yi's eyes widened in horror. The old man almost jumped out of his chair. Xiao Feng, the company's business situation is currently difficult. Where would I find that much money for you to squander? Besides, the potential of this project of yours is still unknown. Everything is just your conjecture. Only 1 million. This is the maximum limit I can offer. I calmly said, if we want to achieve results in this short video segment, then the initial investment certainly cannot be small. Investing little is worse than not investing at all. As long as we seize the initiative, then future profits will absolutely exceed imagination. If you only give 1 million, this project basically cannot be launched. At that point, it won't just be a waste of time and effort, but it will also cause the company to miss this golden opportunity. Gao Yi furrowed his brows tightly. Forming a deep wrinkle, he dropped his previous casual attitude. His expression grew increasingly gloomy. He originally thought the so-called KOL department I proposed was just a joke. He didn't expect me to speak so coherently. Looking at this confident manner, I was clearly
well prepared behind the scenes.
Gao Yi's mind was a mess, immensely troubled.
Where did the naive youth who knew nothing
about business before go? Gao Yi instinctively moved to refuse my request, but his eyes accidentally swept across my still somewhat youthful face. In a split second, it was as if he thought of something, and a sinister gleam flashed in his eyes. Theory is theory. Action is action. There are many who talk big, but very few who can actually execute and succeed, no matter what is said. I am, after all, still an inexperienced young man. What's the use of thinking so much? Even if he gave me 10 million to mess around. With my abilities, there was a high chance I would still mess things up. When the project fails, the massive loss will be enough for the whole company to turn on me. Under such immense criticism, how could I handle such pressure? Isn't this a wonderful opportunity for him to take my shares? And this 10 million is nothing compared to the important shares in my hands. The more Gao Yi thought, the more feasible the plan seemed. But he still feigned a troubled expression. Ye Feng, seeing how dedicated you are to the company, Uncle Gao has decided to trust you this once. He'll risk it and support you. He'll give you a 10 million budget. Consider this money for your internship. Go ahead and be bold. Uncle Gao believes you'll succeed. Then thank you, Uncle Gao. I definitely won't let your expectations down. And will manage this department well. With the budget finally settled, a faint, cunning glint appeared on my face. Uncle Gao, there's one more thing I need to bother you with. I heard our company's web film department has a minor actress named Zhang Ruolin. I think her image and potential are excellent. Perfect for the development direction of our KOL department. Can you transfer her to my team? Gao Yi was slightly stunned, finding it strange. Why would I have my eyes on such a minor actress? Zhang Ruolin, he hadn't even heard of this name before, thinking that since I wouldn't amount to much anyway, adding one minor actress wouldn't matter. He didn't want to argue with me over such a trivial matter, so he waved his hand and said, "All right, if you want her, just transfer her over. She's just a minor actress. Don't let it distract you from your main task." I smiled and said, "Thank you, Uncle Gao." Uncle Gao, then I'll handle this matter. After saying that, I headed towards the artist department, longing to meet Zhang Ruolin quickly, to proceed with the next step of the plan. In the dance studio of the artist department, over 20 rookies were busily practicing their posture. The sound of the door creaking open rang out, and a group of girls practicing their posture turned their heads simultaneously. The first to react was a short-haired beauty, who had found out as soon as she started that the majority shareholder of this company was a young man. She was determined to cling tightly to this golden thigh. Seeing me, the short-haired beauty's eyes widened. Her gaze full of excitement, the minds of the beauties present immediately became sharp, each one like a peacock spreading its tail feathers. I felt as if I were lost in a forest of flowers. The person closest to the door was a beauty named Zhang Yilian. She smiled radiantly and waved, "Hello, young Master Ye." I didn't pay attention. Right now, my mind was only on one thing, to quickly bring Zhang Ruolin to my side and bind her to this boat. Moreover, she hasn't debuted yet, and Shez right here in my company. In the corner, Zhang Ruolin was like a little rabbit, lowering her head and shrinking back in fear. Her extremely pure face looked so tender it could burst with moisture, the quintessential first love face. I smiled and waved, calling Zhang Ruolin. Zhang Ruolin instinctively shrank into the shadows. This was her first time meeting the big boss with a net worth of hundreds of millions. The beauties around her all showed surprised expressions, their faces full of admiration and envy. I thought to myself, check Zhang Ruolin's information. Name, Zhang Ruolin. Age, 21. Beauty, 96. Personality, lively. Favorability, 60. Innate charm, 20. Experience, 0. Marital status, single. Current mood. Level 1, current wish, hope to debut successfully. I stepped up in front of Zhang Ruolin, trying to make my tone sound a bit gentler. "Ruolin, I have something to discuss with you. Come with me to the meeting room next door. Let's talk for a bit." Zhang Ruolin was completely bewildered. She nodded nervously, her voice carrying a slight tremble.
"Hello, President Ye."
"Yes, sir." Her little heart pounded, as if it were about to leap out of her throat. Seeing me walk away, she hurriedly stood up and followed, trotting towards the studio door. Her running posture was just like Seven's, looking incredibly adorable. The gazes of the actresses behind her were like poisoned daggers being thrown, making their faces turn extremely distorted, each of them constantly whispering and muttering. The short-haired beauty Cheng Yo-Yo stood poised at the door, her eyes never leaving Ye Feng and Zhang Ruolin as they approached. I must seize this opportunity. Thinking this, Cheng Yo-Yu made up her mind.
"Young Master Ye, young Master Ye."
Two coquettish voices rang out almost simultaneously, both using a flirtatious tone.
"Cheng, you heard the sound and looked over."
A flash of anger instantly crossing her eyes. "You again, Zhang Yilian. You scheming woman." How dare you try to snatch a man from me? At this moment, Zhang Yilian also had a look of absolute determination. She had also thought it through. Instead of fighting for a vague debut opportunity, she'd rather bet on this handsome,
wealthy majority shareholder.
It's you, Cheng Yu, you dare.
Spoil my good thing.
Their eyes met, each glaring fiercely at the other, their gazes full of the smell of gunpowder. I watched the scene before me with interest, the corner of my mouth curling into a smile. However, this short-haired beauty looked somewhat familiar. I began to think carefully. I quickly remembered that in my past life, she was a blogger with tens of millions of fans. My eyes lit up. It seems I've picked up a treasure. My eyes constantly evaluated Cheng Yu. Cheng Yu was overjoyed in her heart. Young Master Yi was noticing her.
So, did she actually have
a chance for the carp to jump over the dragon gate? Thinking of this, the joy on Cheng Yu's face was plain to see. She even raised an eyebrow at Zhang Yilian beside her. Zhang Yilian gnashed her teeth in anger, originally thinking that recruiting Zhang Ruolin was lucky enough. Who would have thought the raid be a Cheng Yu as well? I couldn't wait and thought to myself. Check Cheng Yu's information. Name, Cheng Yo. Age, 24. Beauty, 90. Personality, lively. Favorability, 60. Innate charm, 20. Experience, 0. Marital status, single. Current mood. Level 1, current wish, wants to be the host's lover. Cheng Yu's beauty compared to average people is certainly outstanding, but beside me are all peerless beauties. Bai Jie, Luo Wanqing, and the 3 Gao sisters. Who among them isn't more beautiful than her? However, am not picky, pushing back the chaotic thoughts. I looked up with great interest. Each Cheng Yu and Zhang Yilian. Two were still glaring fiercely at each other, neither willing to look away first. The two seemed to notice my gaze, and simultaneously changed their disguise. Completing a face change move in an instant, Cheng Yu immediately perked up. She stood up straight, unconsciously puffing out her chest, wanting to show her most charming side. Seeing the two of them like peacocks spreading their tails, competing for beauty, found it a bit amusing. I gave a light cough and said, "Do you two have something?" Hearing this, Cheng Yu's pretty face was instantly filled with a sweet smile. Her already sugary voice now became flirtatious to the point of melting. I also want to work under young Master Ye. When I first joined the company, I heard about the glorious achievements of young Master Diep's father when he founded the company. Moreover, old staff say you're naturally brilliant. Following you, I'll surely become extremely famous. When that time comes and am truly famous, I will definitely repay young Master Ye well. Zhang Yilian stared blankly. It Cheng Yu's non-stop chatter. Unwilling to be left behind, she hurriedly stepped forward, a radiant smile on her face. Young Master Ye, as long as I can work under you, am willing to accept any condition. I don't even care if I become famous. I just want to work by your side. I thought to myself. Check Zhang Yilian's information. Name, Zhang Yilian. Age, 22. Beauty, 89. Personality, lively. Favorability, 70. Demonic charm, 20. Experience, 0. Marital status, single. Current mood, positive. Current wish, wants to be the host's lover. Zhang Yilian wasn't a major KOL in the past life, but this kind of wheat-skinned athletic beauty is indeed rare. I smiled and said, all of this comes at a price. So, whether it's Zhang Ruolin,
Cheng Yu or
Zhang Yilian, what price are you willing to pay to work under me? The two froze at the same time. Then the next second, their joy was plain to see, shouting in unison, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Even in our dreams, we want to work for young Master Yi. All right, since you want to follow me so much, then follow me into the meeting room to talk. After saying that, I turned and walked straight ahead. Zhang Ruolin hurriedly followed behind. Cheng Yu and Zhang Yilian also rushed to keep up, fearing being left behind. They didn't forget to glare at each other. In the meeting room, I cleared my throat and spoke frankly, the ugly truth first. This department of ours is a key focus of the company's next development, which is to nurture KOLs using short videos as the main platform. However, since the department is newly established, many things are not yet finalized. So if you three join, you must consider it carefully. My gaze swept across the three beauties with different expressions. However, I have a preliminary draft for development of the three of you. I'm 10 parts certain. I will help you become famous within 3 months.
Cheng Yu quickly replied. President Ye.
I, Cheng Yu, am determined to follow you. If young Master Ye is willing to sign me, I will definitely give it my all, and absolutely won't disappoint you. Zhang Yilian hurried to chime in flirtatiously. Young Master Ye, I also desperately want to work with you, and will work my hardest. Her face wore a radiant smile, but in her heart, she was thinking through gritted teeth. No way, tonight I must take the initiative to seize a place in Ye Feng's heart. I don't believe I'll lose to her this time. Zhang Ruolin was stunned. She took a deep breath, her big eyes blinking as she looked at me, her voice carrying a hint of tension and anticipation as she whispered softly, I also want to work under President Ye. I nodded in satisfaction. Very good. In the future, you will surely feel proud of the decision you made today. You don't need to worry, even though our department is new. The initial startup capital alone is 10 million. There will be no less than 50 million in capital injected later. Furthermore, before helping you become famous, I have no intention of expanding the scale temporarily, meaning this 10 million will be prioritized and poured entirely into you. As long as you do well, there will absolutely be no shortage of resources. As soon as I finished, the eyes of the three beauties instantly lit up, amazement clear on their faces. They could almost not believe it. Their whole bodies dazed by the sudden wave of joy.
Ding.
Zhang Ruolin's favorability towards host increased by 1, currently at 64 points.
Ding.
Cheng Yu's favorability towards host increased by 1, currently at 61 points.
Ding.
Jiang Yilian's favorability towards host increased by 1, currently at 71 points. Host, please keep up the good work. Cheng Yu jumped up in excitement, her massive chest bouncing up and down along with her. Jiang Yilian was also full of excitement, her gaze lingering on me like pulling silk, while Zhang Ruolin didn't overreact. Her eyes also sparkled with the light of anticipation. They seemed to have already seen themselves standing under the stage lights, becoming superstar KOLs, admired by 10,000 people. I leisurely walked out of the meeting room, a meaningful smile on my face. I must say, watching Cheng Yo and Zhang Yilian competing and sulking was actually quite interesting. Who doesn't like seeing beauties being jealous over them? I walked to the printer, printing out pages of contracts. This is the artist contract prepared last night, in coordination with the law firm. Taking the contracts, I went straight to the office. In the office, Cheng Yu stood with hands on hips in anger, glaring at Zhang Yilian shrilly.
Copycat.
Whatever I say, you say the same thing.
You copycat.
Shameless woman.
Yang Yilian shot her a look of utter contempt. Do you think everyone is big-chested and brainless like you? Whatever Ruolin and I say, we use our brains, unlike you, who speaks without thinking.
Just blabbering whatever comes out.
Don't you agree, Ruolin? Huh. Zhang Ruolin, who was dazed, was called and said with a forced smile, everyone is different. It's normal. What do you mean? Cheng Yu was so angry her face turned red and immediately used her chest to bump the other, making Zhang Yilian take several steps back. I think you're so great just because you're busty. Zhang Yilian didn't flinch at all, stepping forward to bump her back. Click. The sound of the door opening rang out. The two quickly regained their composure, their faces filled with fawning smiles. Young Master Ye, you're finally back. Cheng Yu's coquettish voice rang out first. She swayed her waist, like an excited house cat, hurrying to my side, her gaze full of expectation. Zhang Yilian and Zhang Ruolan followed closely behind. I handed the contracts and pens to the three of them. These are your artist contracts. High base salary, good benefits, and the commission split isn't low either. These benefits are considered top tier in the industry. However, the breach of contract penalty is very high, and the term is long. Consider it carefully yourselves. If there are no issues, then sign. Cheng, you took the contract. Her eyes looking at me amorously. Young Master Ye, whatever you say goes. After all, it'll be working for you from now on. Didn't know whether to laugh or cry, saying, aren't you afraid it'll sell you off? Young Master Ye, you weren't that kind of person.
Cheng, you grabbed my arm.
Shaking it as if acting spoiled. Do you have any other opinions? It's still not too late to regret it. Cheng Yu's gaze was firm as she said flirtatiously, Young Master Ye, I won't regret it.
When do we start working?
Ding.
High EQ choice function activated. 1. Smile wickedly and say,
why pretend with me?
And acting spoiled. How about this? We each maintain our private disguises. It's mutually beneficial. 2. Say loosely. Want it that much? Then right here in front of everyone. Let's start right now. 3. Say nonchalantly. We need to recruit people first and buy equipment. For the next few days, keep practicing in the artist department. If you're tired, you can rest in this office. I'll have someone clean it up later. I spoke nonchalantly. We need to recruit people first and buy equipment. For the next few days, keep practicing in the artist department. If you're tired, you can rest in this office. I'll have someone clean it up later. Love points 100, currently 500 points. Cheng Yu's favorability towards host increased by 2, currently at 63 points. Host, please keep trying. Cheng. Yu happily said, orders received. Zhang Yilian followed closely, saying, I won't regret it either. I believe young Master Yi can definitely make us famous nationwide. Zhang Ruolin lightly bit her lower lip. I won't regret it either. Having chosen President Ye, I will follow you forever. The three quickly signed the contracts and handed them to me. I nodded in satisfaction.
Ding.
Host has successfully recruited Zhang Ruolan with Beauty 96. Congratulations to Host for completing the main quest, helping the weak, promoting truth, goodness, and beauty. Rewards have been delivered. Tsundere Translator, 10 million real traffic card, 50 million cash reward. Cash rewards have been transferred to Host's account through legal and regulated channels. Finally completed the mission. I thought to myself, view details for Tsundere Translator. Tsundere Translator. This translator can automatically convert
woman's insincere words
into subtitles of their true psychological activity, making every lie impossible to hide. Looking at the three girls, I coughed twice and made a promise. I can guarantee to make you all famous within 3 months. Just wait and see. After exchanging contact information with them, I continued.
That's it for today.
You go back and prepare well.
Wait 2 days for the department to be ready.
And I will contact you. I waved my hand, signaling them to leave. 3 girls nodded repeatedly, reluctantly walking towards the office door. After watching their figures disappear, I chuckled to myself. Not bad. They're all beauties. I suddenly have a sense of nurturing them. If all 3 of them become famous later, then the feeling of reaping the rewards will surely be different from ordinary women. Just like the cold movie Queen Luo Wanqing. Speaking of which, it's been a day. Wanqing must really be missing me, but now is not the time to think about that. The newly established KOL department still has much work to do. As for Luo Wanqing, let her wait for a bit. Soon enough, she will get a taste of it. At this time in the office, I stared at the contract and fell into deep thought. My mind began listing the necessary people. A beautiful assistant, an excellent operator, plus a few more staff for key positions to coordinate the upper and lower levels of the department. I also need a reliable right-hand man, like a butler. This person must be highly capable, fiercely loyal, and ideally able to execute orders perfectly, helping me oversee the big picture. After all, my time shouldn't be
wasted on trivial matters.
Familiar face suddenly popped into my head. Yan Danying. She's a talented strategist personally trained by my father. Back then, my father sponsored her education, helping her rise from an ordinary person to the high ranks. Her loyalty is beyond question. Even after my father passed away, she persisted in visiting his grave every year. This bond has never been broken. More importantly, she has not only experienced but has also worked at my family's company for years. It's a shame that after my father's death, Gao Yi suppressed her so much, she was completely sidelined. Now is the perfect time for me to recruit her. While I was calculating my move, my phone suddenly vibrated incessantly. I unlocked it to take a look. Messages from Cheng Yuyo, Zhang Yilian, and Zhang Ruolin filled up the screen. I couldn't help but laugh. What a coincidence. All 3 chose this exact moment to send them. I clicked on Cheng Yu's chat, and the first message froze me in my tracks. The first was a selfie of her.
Wet hair clinging to her face.
Downcast lashes and a dreamy gaze. That gorgeous, flushed face practically jumped off the screen. Her pure lust style was almost overwhelming. I smiled and shook my head. Is this girl trying to play hard to get? Right after that, a flurry of messages from Cheng Yo came pouring in. Hello. Hello. Good evening, it's me, Yu. I'm so excited today. Usually, I'm just a nobody that no one pays attention to. I didn't expect to be favored by a young Master Yi like you. He, please look after me in the coming days. She included a sticker of a shy kitten. I couldn't help but scoff.
Look after you, my foot.
Do you think this is a wedding or something? I replied very dismissively. Seeing my reply, Miss Cheng immediately messaged back. Oh wow. Young Master Ye replied to me. Have you eaten yet? Hey, did young Master Ye see my selfie just now? Accompanied by a pitiful acting cute sticker. I casually replied, I saw it. Why? The chat showed she was typing. Flickered for a bit, then disappeared. A long while later, a new message appeared. I wanted to ask what you think of this look on me. Does it have the potential to go viral? Another selfie was attached to the message. She was wearing a tank top, looking both pure and sweet, yet exuding a lethal attraction. I couldn't help but draw a sharp breath. I used 2 fingers to zoom in and examine it closely. It really is magnificent. This woman really knows how to pick her timing. Is she trying to test my self-control? I quickly typed a reply. From my professional perspective, your foundation is excellent. If you follow the plan I've set, a few million fans will only be the beginning. Really? If I truly get a few million fans? Young Master Ye, it'll do anything you ask. Anything at all. Hearing this, I let out a smug smile. Since you put it that way, I'm going to take you at your word. On the other side of the line, Cheng Yu rolled around on her bed in excitement. Originally, she only hoped to be a small blogger with a few 100,000 fans, yet I said millions of fans were just the start. She frantically cheered herself on in her head. Here is your chance, Cheng Yo. You must cling tightly to this lifeline called Young Master Yi. It was as if she could already see her bright future. To seize this opportunity, she gritted her teeth and found a special collection hidden deep in her phone. A few stunning HD photos she had painstakingly taken in her free time. If these leaked, they'd damage her reputation to some extent. But now, she didn't care. She had to go all in. A series of messages popped up in the chat. Cheng Yu, here are 9 HD photos. Young Master Ye, do you think I look good? Which style does this image of me suit best? The shy sticker. My eyes were glued to the HD photos appearing on the screen. I was stunned for half a second, then began to admire them one by one. Meanwhile, I thought to myself, very good, great angles, and the lighting in this one is superb. The proportions in this one are perfect. Even professional photographers could learn from this. At the other end, Cheng Yo stared intently at my avatar, but there was no movement for the longest time. She was so anxious she almost threw her phone. She clutched her phone and wailed.
Why isn't there any reaction?
She had clearly laid out all her cards, even sending those private, sensitive photos. Yet this man remained so calm he didn't even react. Then she sent a string of messages. Young Master Ye, with an expectant kitten sticker. Having just saved the collection she sent, I quickly typed a response. Your photos are fantastic. You're better suited for the pure lust style. When the time comes, tell the makeup artist to make you look a bit more innocently seductive. This style fits you perfectly. the pure lust style.
Cheng!
Yu immediately sent another picture, like this. This photo of her was quite provocative. Dreamy eyes combined with a slightly tipsy face. Her flushed cheeks looking as if Shed just downed an entire bottle of wine. Capturing that style to its absolute limit, I smiled. She certainly understands a man's weaknesses.
Yeah, that's the one.
But be careful not to send these photos around haphazardly, to avoid giving others a chance to spread rumors.
Ding.
Cheng Yu's favorability toward the host has increased by 2. It is currently at 65 points. Please keep it up, host, she replied coquettishly.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
I only send my selfies to young Master Ye. You're so kind, young Master Ye. Rarely has anyone cared for me like this. Then am truly honored. The laughing crying sticker. I message back with a smile. It's getting late, and I have work to do. Let's talk another time. Yes. Thank you, young Master Ye. Message me again whenever you're free. I really enjoy sharing my life with you. I don't know why, but I've never felt this way before. I looked at the screen and laughed disdainfully.
Why?
Because of money, of course. Don't think I don't know? Petty calculations in your heart. But that's fine. It's mutually beneficial. Anyway, according to the system settings, once favorability exceeds 100,
it will be locked in.
By then, she wouldn't leave even if I chased her away with a stick. Just be a good little top-tier tool for me. I shook my head and exited Cheng Yu's chat, scrolling to the next person's messages. As soon as I opened Zhang Yilian's chat, her greeting along with a photo popped up immediately. Young Master Ye, good evening. Have you gone home yet? It was accompanied by a photo in office attire, yet it was a bit seductive with black stockings. She didn't forget to add, which style should I choose from now on? Sexy or cute? I stared at the photo and pondered. I almost forgot that this woman had been waiting in the underground parking lot for a long time. I need to wrap up what I'm doing quickly and go down to see how she plans to ambush me. On the other side of the screen, Zhang Yilian was standing by my car in the parking lot. Her small face was flushed from the biting cold wind. Zhang Yilian bit her lower lip in slight frustration, twirling a lock of hair around her finger. She had been waiting in the parking lot for over an hour, and her legs were almost numb. Suddenly, a notification sounded, and a bright smile instantly lit up her face. She quickly checked her phone. I had replied, haven't gone home yet. I'm a bit busy. You'd be a great fit for the cosplay style. You're working so hard, young Master Ye. Still busy at this late hour. Isn't that reply a bit too plain? She frowned and thought for a moment, then sent over another selfie of herself. It was a photo of her wearing a JK uniform. Young Master Ye, how about this? I looked at the photo and smiled, feeling an urge to tease her a little. So I messaged back, quite pretty. You're perfect for cosplay, but it would be even better if the skirt were a bit shorter. Ding. Zhang Yilian's favorability toward the host has increased by 1. It is currently at 72 points. Zhang Yilian saw the reply on her screen, and her heart pounded like a drum. Hey, young Master Ye, my legs hurt a bit. Could I possibly hitch a ride with you? With a shy little girl sticker. Sure. It'll be down as soon as I'm done. Go find somewhere to wait. Yes. Thank you, young Master Ye. Love you so much. Next, I opened Zhang Ruolin's message. It was very brief and concise. President Ye, thank you for your favor. I'm really looking forward to working with you. I replied, no need to be so formal. I'm quite easygoing. After replying to all the messages, I breathed a sigh of relief, preparing to head to Yan Danying's office. 2 minutes later, I knocked on the door. Yan Danying, who was absorbed in her work, looked up in surprise. Her long, alluring purple hair cascaded down freely. Exuding a hint of spontaneity, she spoke slowly. Come in. Yan Danying was wearing a white shirt on top, the collar slightly open as if by accident. She paired it with a tight, pale purple miniskirt. Her cold, elegant look hid an irresistible charm. On her refined bridge was a pair of thin-rimmed glasses, making her look even more mature and intellectual. Extremely charismatic. Seeing that it was me who entered, Yan Danying said in surprise, Zhao Feng.
Why are you here?
I replied warmly, Auntie Yan, I missed you so much, so I came to visit.
Why? Am I not welcome?
Of course not. Yan Danying gave me a gentle, playful scolding, then stood up and came to my side, saying with a smile, come, let Auntie Yan see if Zhao Feng has grown any taller. Wow, Zhao Feng has really grown up. She looked at me with a smile, reaching out to gently ruffle my hair, then checking my height against hers. Then she teased, we haven't seen each other for just a little while, yet you've shot up like this. And you're getting even more handsome too. Tell the truth, there must be plenty of girls chasing after you at university, right? Spill it? Are you dating anyone? Bring her here for Auntie Yan to check her out and give her approval. I laughed and said, not at all. Those girls are so childish. If they were even a tenth as beautiful as you, I would have hurriedly said yes already. Get out of here, you dare to tease your aunt. Yan Danying's smile widened, and she gave my chest a playful, gentle swat. As her hand made contact, she seemed to notice something, then said in astonishment, your chest muscles are so firm.
That's right, Auntie.
Would you like to feel them for a bit? I smiled, flexing my biceps, struck a powerful pose. Yan Danying's beautiful face flushed slightly. Yes, she poked me with her slender fingers, then burst into giggles, saying, they really are as hard as rock. Tell me what brings you to see your aunt this time. I looked at her with a feigned, innocent face. Danying, Those words really hurt my feelings. Can't I visit you unless I have a reason? I told you I missed you. Having said that, I spread my arms wide and continued with a smile. Dennying, you've changed. You used to hug me every time you saw me. Have you become distant now?
You brat, stop playing around.
She hesitated for a moment but finally gave me a gentle hug. In that instant, a rush of masculinity enveloped her, seemingly leaving her slightly stirred. Yan Danning suppressed the unusual feeling in her heart and whispered, I know you too well. You never come by unless you want something. Speak up. What do you want? Short on cash or having trouble winning over some girl? Looking for your aunt to help you hatch a plan. She huffed and continued, if you don't talk, I'm heading home right now. I shrugged and said with an indifferent look, then go ahead. I drove here today, so I'll drive you home. It's been a while since I last visited Danning's place. In her heart, she secretly scolded. This stinky brat is all grown up now. Does he have no sense of boundaries at all? Yet she couldn't help but sigh inwardly.
But why do I feel like
Xiao Feng is getting more handsome by the day, and he has such a manly aura too. Yan Danning. Oh, Yan Danning. What kind of nonsense are you thinking? Has still just a child. No thanks. I have my own car. Then Yan Danning patted my shoulder. Stop teasing your Auntie Yan. Tell me what's really going on. Quickly. I wasn't in a hurry to answer, but instead silently stared at her increasingly reddened face. I called the system in my mind. Check Yan Danning's information. Name, Yan Danning.
Age 32.
Beauty, 96. Personality, gentle, virtuous. Hobbies, work, reading. Favorability, 92. Innate charm, 0. Experience, 0. Marital status, single. Current status, being ostracized by Gao Yi. Gradually being pushed to the sidelines of the company. Current mood, utterly exhausted, both physically and mentally. Current desire, hoping to save the company from dire straits. Wishing for that bastard Gao Yi to just drop dead already. Stop teasing your Auntie Yan. Tell me what's really going on. Quickly. Hearing this, I didn't answer immediately. A flicker of hesitation flashed in my eyes.
Yes, I debated whether to reveal Gao Yi's true face
to her or not. However, looking at the system display, Yan Danning's favorability was at 92 points. And given her actions in my past life, I knew for a fact she could be fully trusted. After hesitating for a moment, I took a deep breath and finally made up my mind. My expression turned serious. My gaze fixed directly on Yan Danning. Auntie Yan, did you know that this morning? Something world-shaking happened at the company. Yan Danning shook her head, her eyes uncontrollably darkening. A hint of bitterness on her face. I haven't heard about anything major. Yan Danning had been suppressed by Gao Yi for years and had long since been removed from the leadership structure. Now, she was completely in the dark about the company's movements, with only a few washed-up artists left under her wing. Auntie Yan, are you familiar with Yuan Hao and Wei Jixue? I narrowed my eyes slightly, a cold glint passing through them. I know them. Those two are truly shameless. On a daily basis, they rely on the label of being Gao Yi's people to run rampant and act out in the company, doing all sorts of wrong things. The more she spoke, the more indignant she became, her hands involuntarily clenching into fists. I've told Gao Yi many times, but he completely ignored it, even covering up for and condoning them. Hearing her complaints, corner of my mouth quirked up into a cold smile. I fired both of them today. Are you serious? Yan Danning's phoenix eyes widened like brass bells, her face a picture of pure astonishment. Did Gao Yi have any reaction? Would he really allow you to kick out his confidants? My lips curled into a confident arc.
Why wouldn't he?
I don't need his permission. Auntie Yan, don't forget that. I am the largest shareholder of this company. Pausing for a moment, I continued. Besides, I have evidence in my hands of those two using unspoken rules on female artists and harassing female staff in the company. Even if Gao Yi is so angry his nose explodes, he'll still be forced to fire them. Hearing this, Yan Danning couldn't help but look me up and down. A flash of admiration glinted in her eyes, her voice carrying a hint of emotion.
You're impressive, Xiao Feng.
I really underestimated you. We haven't seen each other for just a short while, yet you've become so capable. Are you planning to come back and reclaim control of the company?
That's right.
I nodded, looking at her seriously. That's why. The reason I came to see you today, Auntie Yan, first, of course, is that I missed you since we haven't met in a long time. And the second reason is that I hope you, Auntie Yan, can lend me a hand. I looked at her with a burning gaze, eyes full of urgency and expectation. Yan Danning's expression became solemn. Have you thought this through? This isn't going to be simple. She sighed helplessly. Right now, everyone from top to bottom in the company is Gao Yi's person. Trying to intervene is harder than reaching the heavens. Furthermore, most of the minority shareholders are on his side. She frowned and continued. Thought you just came here today to say hello. I didn't expect you to want to overthrow Gao Yi as well. Yan Danning sighed, then looked at me with a face full of concern. Xiao Feng, your growth makes me feel very reassured. But Auntie Yan must remind you, money easily blinds people. This involves interests worth hundreds of millions of yuan when the cruelty of the human heart erupts. It might be something you can't even imagine. I nodded firmly. I've thought about it very carefully. It's precisely because it isn't easy that I need Auntie Yan's help. I gazed at her intently, my voice dropping but staying firm. Auntie Yan, I'm sure you don't want to see the company turned upside down and ruined by that bastard Gao Yi, or even driven into bankruptcy, right? hearing your tone. It seems you have a huge prejudice against Gao Yi. She frowned slightly, her eyes showing a hint of doubt. He was, after all, your father's childhood friend. They were as close as blood brothers. Hearing those words, I let out a cold laugh, a flash of hatred appearing deep in my eyes. Auntie Yan, what I'm about to say next?
You might find hard to believe,
but I have to make it clear to you. I suspect that my parents' car accident years ago was personally orchestrated by Gao Yi. These words were like a bolt from the blue, leaving Yan Danying completely stunned.
What? Are you serious?
How could that beast do such a thing? Weren't he and your father sworn brothers who grew up together? Her face was full of disbelief, anger clearly written across her beautiful features. Her hands clenched into fists, nails almost digging into her skin. She tried to suppress the fire of rage burning in her heart, hurriedly pressing Zhao Feng. You have evidence that it was him? If you do, well, call the police immediately, so the law can punish him. I replied in a low voice. Auntie Yan, I'm still investigating. I don't have solid evidence in my hands yet to throw him in prison right away.
That's why I need to reclaim control of the company.
Force him to slip up. Hearing my words, she took a deep breath, her expression becoming extremely grave. If that's truly the case, then everything finally has an explanation. Complex emotions flickered through her eyes. Xiao Feng, I'll be honest with you, I myself have long suspected that beast Gao Yi killed your parents. Those words made my heart tighten. I looked at her silently. Yan Danying's face was filled with indignation and grief, but usually he always puts on such a gentle front. Everyone around thinks very highly of him. Except for me, no one would ever believe he could do such terrible things. You might not know the details of what happened back then, but as someone who was there, I know everything perfectly.
That year, because Gao Yi wanted to make money,
he planned to force the company's artists to entertain guests with drinks, wanting them to use their bodies to bribe officials and wealthy bosses. Your father found out and was absolutely furious. He said he didn't care what other companies did, but as long as he held his position for even one more day, he would never allow such a thing to happen in his company. She continued her story, her voice trembling slightly. You didn't see him that day. How terrifying Gao Yi's gaze really was. Before that, I also thought he was a kind person, but on that very day, after your father finished saying those words, his eyes turned dark, as if he wanted to kill someone. Hearing this, my fists clenched tightly.
Waves of emotion surging within me.
And not long after that, your parents were in that car accident. I have been secretly investigating for years, but I haven't found any clear evidence. Her voice grew lower and lower, revealing a deep sense of helplessness. I only know that the person who caused the accident was a drunk truck driver. Police investigated his accounts, but there were no unexplained sums of money. She shook her head, her face full of resentment. The only suspicious thing is that the driver himself had leukemia and didn't have much time left to live anyway. He died shortly after. His son received a scholarship from a foreign charity to go to university. The more I think about it, the more it feels wrong. But I can't find even a shred of evidence. However, my intuition tells me that this was definitely Gao Yi's doing. I listened to her words, my heart swelling with emotion. Auntie Won, on behalf of my father, I thank you for everything you've given over the years. It must have been hard for you these past years, being suppressed by Gao Yi and the company like that. I took a deep breath and continued, my voice full of sincerity. If you're willing to help me take down Gao Yi, then that would naturally be the best. But if you feel tired and don't want to be involved anymore, I can also give you a sum of money, so you can start your own business. Di Feng, don't say that. She suddenly looked at me, tears welling in her eyes, her body trembling slightly, her voice a bit choked up. Back then, if it weren't for your parents, I might have had to drop out since middle school. I would have never escaped that mountain village in my entire life. It was your father who gave me the chance, so that I could get into university from that poor valley and achieve what I have today. Her kindness is something I can never repay in a lifetime. Seeing her sorrow, I hesitated for a moment, then took a step forward and gently hugged her. My hand slowly rested on her back, patting her gently to comfort her. She leaned into my firm chest, her body shivering slightly, a hint of insecurity and vulnerability in her eyes. I could feel that. It had been many years since she last felt this safe. Yan Danying's favorability toward the host increased by 1. It is currently 93 points. Please keep up the good work, host. The two of them just hugged silently like that for a long time. She gently pushed me away, her beautiful face blushing like a ripe tomato, looking down, not daring to meet my eyes. A moment later, she wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes, looked up at me, her gaze filled with determination. Di Feng, although Gao Yi is in control of the company, your father left the shares to you, so you are the largest shareholder. He will move against you sooner or later. The reason I haven't been willing to leave the company all these years is also because I was afraid something would happen to you. Now, if you want to take back control of the company, I will do my absolute best to help you. I looked at her sincere face, my heart overflowing with emotion. My eyes unwittingly grew moist, and my voice became hoarse.
Thank you, Auntie Won.
Since my parents passed away, other than Auntie Bai, only you have made me feel the warmth of a family. Yan Danying looked at my appearance, sensing my vulnerability, and it seemed her heart was touched. She couldn't help but pull me into a tight embrace, gently stroking my hair, her voice so gentle it felt like it could melt. It's okay now. It's all in the past.
Oan will always be by your side.
Her hug brought me a strange warmth, making my heart feel a little lighter. But it also caught me a bit off guard. I was about to pull away, when suddenly everything went dark before my eyes. She was squeezing me so hard I could barely breathe. Hick! What's going on? After a while, she seemed to realize I was suffocating, snapped out of it, and hurriedly let me go. Yan Danying's face was flushed bright red, the redness quickly spreading from her earlobes all the way down to her cleavage. She looked like she was on fire, seemingly trying to calm the strange emotions inside her. She screamed silently in her head, looking down and scolding herself. Ah, have I gone crazy? How could I do such a thing to Dai Feng? He's still just a boy who doesn't know the world yet. She took a deep breath, coughed a few times, suppressing those feelings and forcing herself to stay calm. She spoke up, getting straight to the point. The artist department is Gaoya's stronghold. If we want to strike from there, I'm afraid it will be incredibly difficult. Do you have any good ideas? Let's think together and put our heads together. I smelled the faint scent still lingering on the tip of my nose, feeling a bit dazed. But when I thought of the main task, I quickly regained my focus. Anti-Own Im, very optimistic about this short video segment. It will definitely explode in the next few years. Today I went to see Gao Yi, got 10 million yuan in startup capital from him, and also established the influencer training department. Now, I really need the help of a talent like you. Yan Danying looked at me in astonishment. Unbelievable look in her eyes. It was clear that my actions today had given her quite a shock. She praised, Dai Feng, you are truly impressive. Her eyes held a few more degrees of admiration. Auntie Owen is starting to admire you too. I'm still just stuck at talking about things on paper, but you've already started taking action. Currently, the influencer training department is a mess of work, so I'll have to rely on you to help me build it up. She looked at me, a gentle smile blooming on her lips, then solemnly nodded. Don't worry. Di Feng, your business is my business as well. I will do my absolute best. Anyone who has ever owned an MCN knows, those influencers who normally look posh and cold are incredibly proactive and open in front of the boss. I hadn't even finished work yet, when the newly signed influencer Zhang Yilian already invited me to her house tonight, saying her little kitten knows how to do backflips. At this moment, I had just stepped out of Yan Danying's office and headed straight to the parking lot. In the underground parking lot, Zhang Yilian was idly scrolling through her phone. Hearing footsteps, Zhang Yilian suddenly looked up and walked quickly to greet me. Master Dai? Are you done with work? You've worked hard. Just as she finished speaking, the tsundere translator automatically activated. Finally, you're here. I've been waiting so long, my legs are numb. I glanced at her and let out a chuckle. It seems that waiting for a few hours has left her with quite a bit of resentment. I nodded slightly, a warm smile appearing on my face. Yeah, I just finished. I opened the car door and sat in the driver's seat. I've kept you waiting too long. Let's go, get in. Master Dai, can I sit in the front seat? I looked at Zhang Yilian in surprise. How polite of her. It's fine, sit down. Hearing that, Zhang Yilian hurriedly sat in the passenger seat. I started the engine and turned my head to look at Zhang Yilian.
Where do you live?
I'll take you there right now. Zhang Yilian clasped her hands on her thighs and said a bit nervously, I live in the Jingfu apartment complex on Zhongshan Road. All right, I replied. The car slowly left the parking lot. The faint scent of perfume lingered in the car, and the atmosphere suddenly became quiet. Zhang Yilian stole a glance at me, hesitated for a while, and then spoke up. Master Dai, do you think I can become famous? I'm feeling very worried. Sigh, she bit her lips slightly. Anxiety filling her eyes. I looked at her, nodded, and said, it won't be a problem. No need to worry. Right now, the short video segment is just starting.
Waiting for us to explore it.
As long as we're willing to invest resources, and the video quality is good enough, then becoming famous is as easy as the palm of your hand. Zhang Yilian asked carefully, her eyes fixed on me. Then Master Dai, will you invest resources in us? I smiled and said, of course. Otherwise, why would I hire you all? Zhang Yilian pressed further, a hint of urgency in her eyes. But resources are classified as high and low. What standard do you use to allocate them? Is it based on high and low data? Zhang Yilian thought to herself, investing resources sounds great. Spending 100 dong is an investment, and spending 100,000 yuan is also an investment. How can they be the same? The corner of my mouth twitched slightly. Naturally, data quality is very important. If the data is good, there will certainly be more investment. Then I changed my tone. But that's not the only standard, because besides the data, how you all perform is also extremely important. You understand it yourself. Having said that, I gave Zhang Yilian a suggestive look. Zhang Yilian's cheeks blushed slightly, her small lips parted slightly, and she said coquettishly, Master Dai, I just bought a really beautiful outfit. I wanted to ask you to help me critique it a bit. Just as she finished speaking, the tsundere translator automatically activated. Little boy, watch me make you crazy in love with me. As she spoke, she pulled a set of clothes out of her bag, opening them to show me. I tilted my head to take a glance. It turned out to be a REM outfit, that signature blue and white color scheme. Along with the sexy details made me understand her intention immediately. Not bad. Not bad at all. Compared to a pretentious Cheng Yo-Yo, she is much more obedient.
Ding.
High EQ selection function activated. Sly laugh.
What are you trying to do with this?
I can't see it clearly. How about you model it for me right here? 2. Righteous and stern. Speaking sternly. Put it away. What kind of person do you take defeng for? Do you think it'd be blinded by these little tricks of yours? Warning you. My company doesn't allow this kind of bad habit.
You're fired.
3. Laughing with satisfaction, saying, not bad. Not bad at all. That's indeed some good equipment.
You're very sensible.
I have high expectations for you. The corner of my mouth curled into a sly smile. Not bad. Not bad. It's a good outfit indeed. You
Are very sensible. I quite like you.
Ding. Love points increased by 100, currently 700 points. Jiang Yilian's favorability toward the host increased by 3, currently 75 points. Please keep up the good work, host. Jiang Yilian blinked her large, teary eyes and asked with a face full of expectation, then Master Dai, how is my performance? Can I get more resources? Her eyes were filled with desire and impatience. Jiang Yilian thought, I've hinted this much. Even if Master Dai is as stiff as a piece of wood, he must understand my intentions by now, right? I don't believe it. How could there be any man in this world who could resist a beautiful woman offering herself voluntarily? I didn't give a direct answer, smiled and said, well, it's okay, barely acceptable. Let me consider it more. I still have to see your future performance. My smile held a meaning that was hard to decipher. Only one outfit. I won't release the eagle until I see the rabbit. Jiang Yilian bit her lip. Master Dai, I want to tell you something. I will definitely do my best, and I absolutely won't let you down. She looked so pitiful. Jiang Yilian thought, no way. I've already gone this far, and he still has to consider it. Jiang Yilian was full of resentment. She looked at me with a reproachful expression,
wondering in her heart.
Is my performance still not obedient enough? I laughed secretly to myself, driving with one hand while saying seriously, well, everyone must work hard, because opportunity never waits for anyone. Sometimes, when an opportunity appears, it might be the only and rarest time in your life. If you don't know how to seize it, then your whole life will just be like this. What does that mean? As soon as these words were said, Jiang Yilian's heart skipped a beat, and she began to think wildly, is he hinting at me? If I don't seize the opportunity now, then there won't be another chance later. Jiang Yilian looked around. Right now it was the peak hour traffic jam, and vehicles were moving as slowly as snails. The sound of car horns was incessant, and cars were packed densely all around. She was extremely conflicted in her heart, her face showing hesitation. But then she thought again, if I don't act this time, maybe I really will lose this rare opportunity. Forget it. I'm going for it. Jiang Yilian made up her mind, teeing her hair up into a high ponytail, revealing her slender, pale neck. And she looked at me with seductive eyes. Master Dai, do you think I look good with my hair tied up like this? I glanced at her briefly and then nodded. Very beautiful. Jiang Yilian's favorability increased by 5. It's currently 80 points. Please keep up the good work, host. The car rolled slowly through the streets, heading toward the Jingfu apartment complex. Night gradually fell. Porsche stopped right in front of the Xingfu apartment complex gates. Inside the car, I leaned back leisurely in the driver's seat, my fingers tapping rhythmically and absent-mindedly on the steering wheel. My eyes seemed to be looking forward inadvertently, but the corners of my eyes were always watching every
gesture and movement of Jiang Yilian in the passenger seat.
Whoever takes the initiative first loses the hardest. That is my creed. I had no intention of taking the initiative. To ask to go up to Jiang Yilian's place, the two of us sat in this somewhat ambiguous atmosphere in silence for a while, and I began to feel a bit bored. If I keep wasting time like this, it would really be a waste of my own time. It seems I need to add some spice for Jiang Yilian and pressure her a bit. You go on up by yourself. I'm going home. My tone was indifferent, as if the interactions in the car just now were just a passing interlude to me. I deliberately acted like I was about to leave, hinting for Jiang Yilian to get out of the car. I tilted my head slightly, my eyes carelessly glancing over Jiang Yilian's panicked face. Jiang Yilian suddenly looked up. The corner of her mouth still had a hint of something glistening. She was originally looking down, not knowing what she was thinking, but now her heart suddenly tightened. As if squeezed by an invisible hand, Jiang Yilian licked her lips lightly, frantically grabbing my arm, her eyes darting around, seemingly frantically searching for an excuse. After stuttering for a long time, she finally spoke. Master Dai, are you just gonna leave like that? As soon as she finished speaking, the tsundere translator automatically activated. Jiang Yilian, no way. Master Dai, don't leave. Come to my place. I've already prepared everything. Her tone clearly revealed urgency and insecurity. Her eyes instinctively glanced outside the car, her gaze distracted, seemingly trying to find a reason strong enough to keep me there. What should she do now? Inside Jiang Yilian, at this moment,
it was as turbulent as a pot of boiling water.
Everything was just beginning. Could it be that he doesn't want to move to the next step with me? Could it be that Master Dai hates me that much? Or is it because I've completely lost my charm? She was originally extremely confident in her beauty and figure, but now Jiang Yilian was only left with endless self-doubt and fear. After holding it in for a long time, she finally uttered another sentence. Master Dai, are you just leaving like that? Do you have something busy to do? Jiang Yilian thought, Master Dai, please don't go. Looking at the subtitles from the tsundere translator appearing above Jiang Yilian's head, I laughed inwardly with delight. Intentionally putting on a face that didn't care about the world, I shrugged and said nonchalantly, I'm not really busy with anything, just going home to rest. After hearing my answer, a flash of disappointment crossed her eyes, and her heart grew even more confused. Her elaborate seduction plan, in the face of my indifferent attitude, seemed about to go down the drain. Clearly, we were already at her doorstep. Who would have thought that the cooked duck was about to fly away? She bit her lips slightly, her red lips gently gnawed by white teeth, looking even more inviting. Zhang Yilian took a deep breath. After hesitating for a moment, she finally mustered the courage to say, do you want to come up to my place and sit for a while? Zhang Yilian thought, Why doesn't Master Dai have any gentlemanly manners? Does he really insist on making me speak first? Her voice was very soft, but her cheeks grew increasingly hot. There was a hint of both anticipation and anxiety in her eyes. In truth, Zhang Yilian didn't want to be too proactive. In her mind, being too proactive would make her look cheap. She wanted things to happen more gracefully, like a push and pull. That would be the elegant scenario in her heart. Once she left a cheap impression in my mind, it would definitely affect her status later on. And that status was exactly the capital she relied on to advance herself. But now the cooked duck was about to fly away, and in her helplessness, she didn't care about acting reserved or being calculating anymore. I continued calmly. No. That's probably not necessary. You don't have to be so polite with me. I knew Zhang Yilian was about to reach her breaking point. Zhang Yilian was going crazy inside. She couldn't have imagined that I would be this difficult to deal with. Is this even a man? Clearly, he looked so bold just a moment ago.
Why was he acting like a block of wood now?
Facing a great beauty like her, not a single reaction. She suddenly had an idea and said, "My cat Hajime knows how to do backflips. Do you want to come in and see?" As she spoke, she looked at me with expectant eyes. This excuse was truly too clumsy. Even she felt embarrassed by it. This was her last shred of dignity. She could only cling to it, hoping I would give her some face. Hearing this, I was slightly stunned for a moment, a strange look briefly appearing on my face. I remained completely unmoved, my voice as bland as plain water. "Am not interested in Hajime the cat." Zhang Yilian completely gave up all resistance. She took a deep breath and said with a flushed face, "Yes, all right. The truth is, I want to spend some time alone with you."